Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
Flexing like discreet body, extra read a body. Say you wanna beef a body, we gon' come and see a body. Flexing like discreet body, extra read a body. Say you wanna beef a body, find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing like discreet body, extra read a body. Say you wanna beef a body, we gon' come and see a body. Flexing like discreet body, extra read a body. Say you wanna beef a body, find out nothing sweet about it. Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. All my eating good, I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Gil, the run around, high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Gil, the whiplash. Slide through hot night, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still let it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story, condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. Being me, so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, read about it. Headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of town, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these. Ain't no problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service don't come unless you bring it condoms to me. Flexing like discreet body, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef a body, we gon' come and see a body. Flexing like discreet body, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef a body, find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
Listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. It's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Talk on the greatest network ever, the Lapeef Network. And they go to introduce the crew. We got Luis, Trey Smooth, Pop Jones, Hip in the Basement, Shannon Rawls, Sweeney, Austin in the building, me, myself, and Lapeef say y'all. Welcome to King Talk, the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
What up? What up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, black people?
What it do? What it do? Good to see you guys. We do have Beating Madden to be popping in as well. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to go ahead and get the housekeeping in order. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. As you guys can see, they got the wash, they got the clay mask, the AM and PM moisturizer. You even got the eye cream and the super serum. More goodies, man. They even got lotion for your hands. They got the bar soap, deodorant. You name it, you got it. Teej has everything. So make sure you guys click that link and fill the Teej, as I always say. Let me see what we got in the chat. Shout out to all my Green Gang. Joe Lee, I see you in the chat. Dale Matthews, you want to become part of Green Gang, click that link that's been to the top of the chat. And come on over. Come on over. We're going to go ahead and get this show started. You gentlemen ready?
Let's go.
All right, our first topic of the night. Let's go ahead and get this video queued up before I introduce it. Where is it? There it is right there. We'll talk about Glorilla. Glorilla tells women to be toxic for the rest of their 20s. The clip.
Hey, ladies, how on you? When I'm going to call my twin, and I just want to let y'all know, be toxic for the rest of your 20s. You only get one life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, none of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go slashing tires and doing all this crazy. Too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And if you delusional, turn it up a notch. Enjoy the rest of your 20s. You only get to do it one time.
All right, you guys heard Glorilla. I know Hank approves of this message. This is what he speaks about. I'm King Talking Lapeef and Sunday every week, so right up your alley right there, Hank. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's break this down, because this is what's being told to our youth. I'm curious to get the gentleman's opinion about this. I'm sure some of us have daughters, and a lot of us on the panel are concerned about our future. Let's go ahead and break this down. I'm going to go ahead and start with Trey Smooth first. Glorilla tells women to be toxic for the rest of your 20s. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
Hide your wife, hide your kids, man. Listen, this is what the algorithms push to the front. So we have to understand that. And unfortunately, our daughters will be exposed to it, like it or not. So, in my case, I certainly familiarize my children with the context of what this is, and that it's just entertainment. Well, you should just see it as entertainment, because I really do think that a lot of these women are actually like this. And, you let them know the consequences, the repercussions of the types of things that can come from this. Like, you live in toxic in your 20s, like that's your prime as a woman. That's when you should be investing in your future as a woman. And you want to go ahead and ruin your 20s with the Pookies and Ray Rays and drugs and a bunch of sex and everything else. Your 30s are going to be horrible. You're going to be looking for the cleanup man, and he's probably not going to be with it. You're going to be a couple kids in. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to start looking older than you are, and your 30s and the rest of your life will be ruined because of it. Us as men know we have to invest in our 20s. We know what we have to do. We have to work hard towards our future, and women should be doing the same exact thing. You're not going to be suitable for a man. You're not going to be a suitable mother, and you won't be suitable for life. You go ahead and ruin your 20s if you want to. I understand you get them once. There's a balance, right? Anything in life, there's a balance. So there is, of course, you play a little bit, but it doesn't mean that you have to give your body to everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to indulge in drugs. It doesn't mean that you have to be toxic. Like, when has it become cool to be toxic? Why would you encourage people to be toxic? How stupid is that? These are the people that we're pushing to the forefront. This is the examples that we have for our children. This is who our children are supposed to look up to and aspire to be. And the problem is, us as a society, we reward this nonsense. They are millionaires. So that's what gives their words so much weight, because you want to be like them, because they're showing you all the good that comes from it. They're showing you them having fun, driving exotic cars, living in the most lavish lives possible. They're in the biggest houses. They're messing with the fanciest dudes, the richest guys, and everything. And it looks fun, but they're not telling you about what that's going to look like 10, 20 years from now, and what's going to happen to you. That's where I'm at with it.
All right. Go ahead and go to Austin. What are your thoughts about it? Gorilla.
That type of message is so publicized and just pushed out because that's what we throw our money behind. That's what women throw their money behind in men. And I think it's a foolish philosophy to try to teach your children, because as Trev already said, you're going to be 20 years older at some point. You're going to be 30 years older at some point. And when you look back and you are lonely or you don't have a man, I mean, there was an old quote that I love. I heard a fourth grade teacher say this to her kids, to her class. She said, "You're born looking like your parents, but in the end, you're going to die looking like the decisions you made." And I mean, you're the product of your decisions. And what I even more so find very interesting is that typically women that push rhetoric like this, the women that are saying, be the city girl, be this and that, these women actually are married. They're off the market. A lot of those women are married. Or if they're not married, they already have a baby daddy. They're spoken for. I'll say it that way, because we're not a culture that puts a high premium on marriage that much anymore, but they're already spoken for. But it's interesting how they want to push that particular message to the youth, but they themselves are hypocritical even in that sense.
So do you think there's a certain type of agenda that's being pushed?
No, it's an agenda. Keep black people separated, keep black men and women doing foolish crap. Keep them separated. That's it. That's always been the agenda. Keep people divided in any capacity, in any way you can. Keep the dichotomy between black men and black women at full speed, at full pace. That's it.
All right, Cloud Jones, what are your thoughts about what Gorilla had to say?
As far as what Gorilla had to say, I just feel as though like she's bugging. Like I don't think it's good advice to be telling girls to wild out in their 20s. If anything, I think it's a better idea to tell them to focus on family early in their 20s. And if you want to build your family and then 18 years later you want to get divorced and wild out in your 50s, you're better off doing that. Like, you're better off wilding out after you've already put in your contribution you've had your family, you've had your children, you've done all that, and live your cougar life. That to me makes more sense if we want to talk about, expressing your whole phase or whatever the case is. I think it's better for women to do that later in life than earlier in life. Also, I feel like later in life they have more options to do that. Money, they got more access. They can kind of get the pick of the litter as far as, the youth goes. They can attract the young guys. So I feel like they're better doing that later in life. And while you're young, just focus on building your family.
All right. Brother Sweeney, what are your thoughts about it, sir? Gorilla tells women to be toxic for the rest of your 20s.
Kind of what I expect from somebody like her. But when you started playing the video, and y'all probably seen me on my phone, the very first thing I did was go and look at the comments. I had to go look at the comments just to see how people felt about what she said. And I'm going to say I was pleasantly surprised. Everybody said this chick is off her rocker. And I was actually proud to see that. You know what I mean? This is on the Shade Room. That's a breeding ground for toxicity. And even they said, chick, you taking this too far. But I will say this, though. That response, along with what she said, is the reason why rap music has been failing over the last couple of years. People are tired of hearing that shit. People are tired of this toxic music, this bullshit they keep playing. They're tired of it. And it's starting to manifest itself. People can't sell shows no more. Can't even sell out half a venue anymore. People can't sell these records no more. The tours are being canceled left and right. It's because we're tired of hearing that type of shit. So, I mean, to hell with her. You want to go be toxic, but ain't nobody walking down that road with you. So that's pretty much what I got to say about it.
All right. Luis, what are your thoughts about what Gorilla had to say?
Yeah, man, she's bugging. I like what a lot of the brothers shared. One thing that I took notes on, toxic behavior equals to trouble. Trouble equals regret. Regret equals an alternate life. You definitely gonna end up dying like your decisions, like Dr. Julio just shared. Why waste your time in your 20s? Your 20s should be used to learn, educate yourself, and build good relationships. Learn how to communicate with people, travel a bit, be a much more wholesome and rounded person. Being toxic usually, always implement yourself being into some sort of circle that's going to put you in a compromising situation. And ladies and gentlemen, she's a woman who does not have a high IQ, just based on what she shared. Like, we're literally going backwards as a society. What's good is bad and not what's bad is good. We're doing a complete 180 and it's really going to hell at this point. And how many people that have lived and died screaming YOLO? Like, just living your 20s fast and furious and boom. Oh, he was so young. He was a great person. He died so young. He was only 22, 24, 25, right? A lot of people are not making it past a certain age special because of their poor decisions. And sort of this is the stuff that gets pushed to the forefront to be disseminated amongst the youth, right? The wrong dysfunctional relationship dynamic, which leads to hurt, diseases, trauma, and people living on this perpetual non-stop generational trauma, bad decisions, constantly over and over. And sort of there has to be a precedent example, and there has to be a very drastic move. I personally don't follow any of these types of women on any of my social platforms. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage all the dudes not to follow these types of women that push these types of messages to the women that you are potentially interested in dating or courting, because they're planting a seed inside their mind that is going to grow roots and drive your relationship to the brick end. A lot of the decisions that people are making in their relationships are based on exterior factors not interior factors, self-reflection, self-help, healing, etc. None of that stuff is happening. It's a lot of outside pressure from these types of women in society who are trying to push this type of message. And I think that the buck has to stop somewhere. Has to stop somewhere. And to the brother's point, they're talking about, record sales and people not showing up to concerts. Look, man, be what you want to support. If you want to support this type of content, there's a space for you. But I like to think that the job that we do here in the conversations that we have here, particularly on Lapeef and on King Talk, we try to steer men into a good blueprint where they can make better rash decisions for themselves in their early 20s and leading into their 30s, right? And always to try to avoid these types of women. So that's all I got.
All right. Brother Hink, what are your thoughts about what Gorilla had to say? Toxic for the rest of the 20s.
Yeah, it's sad. It really is. But I mostly feel sorry for our sons. Our sons got to deal with women like this. Our sons got to decipher through women. Now I got to teach my son to look at a chick's YouTube channel and what she watches. What is her playlist amongst her music? What type of message is she intaking on the type of bullshit she's watching and listening to? I never thought I would have to have that conversation with him, but I guess I'm gonna have to now, seeing this bullshit right here. And the sad part about it, where is the elder women in her life? Has somebody sit down and said, hey, you have a following amongst young women, and are you sure this is the message you really want to put out there to the young? And I'm probably sure she said, well, it's not real. It's just for content or it's for sale. But how about having some type of pride in the young women that look like you? You know what I'm saying? That's going to not realize you're not being straight up and honest. You're not doing it for entertainment. You doing it. You saying it like it's that's what you really was like. It's maybe, I don't know if she's in her 20s or not. That's the life she really lives or she's really promoting. You know what I'm saying? You got some foolish young ladies out there who's going to try do exactly what she's saying just because they don't know better. They don't have a mentor, an older mentor in their life or some father in their life telling them, baby, don't do this shit. Or the mother, the mother might be right there with them in the club, hanging out, watching this same bullshit, probably promoting the shit with her. So she's not talking down about it. She's not discouraging her from listening to it. She's probably encouraging her. And unfortunately, she's gonna have a daughter and make little baby gorillas, and they're gonna pass that mindset on. It's just unfortunate, man. I hate seeing that. I got a granddaughter. I gotta definitely gonna continue to push against bullshit like this because I don't want her to end up like one of these young ladies she's talking about telling her act a fool when she in your 20s and have a good time for what? So man like my man I think it was Austin or Clout, one or two said when they get to their 30, all of a sudden they want to make a change. They want to get baptized in the blood of the Lamb and get change all of a sudden, get right with the Lord. Hell no, I don't want your toxic ass then. Now you bringing STDs and like somebody said, 2 or 3 kids. Yeah, I'm gonna sit there. Hell yeah, you crazy than hell. And then so look again, ladies, if y'all see that, I hope y'all turn away and discourage anybody, any females in your family to don't pay attention to that bullshit.
All right, Mr. Shannon Rawls, Gorilla tells women to be toxic for the rest of your 20s.
I wonder why you saved me for last, JR.
As you always say, come back to me. Let the other brothers go.
That sounds like Shannon.
Listen, y'all tripping. This is fantastic.
Okay.
Listening to what Glorilla is saying is wonderful, wonderful news for men and women in the Black community.
What?
The reason why is because the rappers back in my day in the 80s said what they said was fooled. Rap. We used to have, African bambata. We used to have, we used to wear African medallions. We was all, it was Black Power. It was Black Pride. We had, KRX-One. We had conscious rap back in the day, and they got rid of that. They got rid of all of that. And then they turned around and they introduced us to the gangster rap. And gangster rap and silly nonsense had been pushed into our communities for years, and we all loved it. And then we all fell for it. And now we're all suffering from it. And so when we hear people like Glorilla say these things, that's great news, because the difference today is now you can tell the difference between the people to avoid and the people to fuck with. There's been so long that we couldn't tell the difference between a stupid motherfucker and a good motherfucker. Even in men, we talk about Pookie and Ray Ray all the time, but what does Pookie look like? What does Pookie sound like? How do we know that there's no Pookies and Ray Rays on this panel right now? Guys always talk about, I used to be a hoe back in the day, and I used to be that. I used to knock them down, but today I'm reformed and I'm trying to help. Everybody says that. Women can't even tell the difference between who a Pookie and Ray Ray is, and men can't tell historically can't tell the difference between the women that they should marry and the hoes that they're getting fooled by. But now these women is out here raising their heads, saying shit like, be toxic through your 20s. We should applaud her, because now we can separate the hoes from the women that's worth our time. When do we ignore what all the rappers from back in the day try to turn around? They say it today. Hey man, it's an agenda. They, we don't, look at what Dame Dash says, they're culture vultures. When are we going to wake up? We don't seem to want to wake up. That's okay. Then you know what? There's some people we got to just leave behind. We can't save everybody in this community, man. I'm sorry. We can't save everybody. And one way to do it is by identifying the ones to ignore and leave behind and separate them from the ones that we can take forward with us. And if you got women, listen, one of the things I've been telling people for a long time, you can learn a lot about a woman by what entertains her. You can learn a lot. If you are on a date and you got a girl that's rocking to Glorilla's music and singing all the city girls, you know what to do. I don't date somebody who don't drink water. I don't date somebody who don't work out. I don't like women that watch reality shows. When women are tuning in to Real Housewives of this and that, and that's the focus of their entertainment, yeah. We're not gonna go too far if you like Real Housewives of Atlanta. And you know the story and the storyline, and you know every character in the reality show, and you know who's going off on who, and you can't wait to see who's coming up next week to check somebody, who gonna check me, boo. If you care about that as a chick, we're not going far when it comes to dating. I can already tell you, because now I can identify who to avoid. If you rock it to Gorilla, thank you for giving me an indicator to know who to avoid. Without that, it goes back to how we were in the 90s, how we were in the early 2000s, where we couldn't tell the difference between the good girl and the bad girl. So when I hear things like Glorilla, I'm super happy. I'm like, yes. And if I got to go on a date and all my young fellas, Hink, you just talking about your sons. All you got to teach your sons is, hey, man, you find a girl that likes that. This is what you do. Now you have something. Now you have a benchmark to be able to say, son, see that? They look alike. Those two animals look alike physically. But let me tell you, they don't think alike, son. This one over here is rocking to Glorilla. This one over here is not.
Shannon, I got an issue with that. I got an issue with that. And there's two issues. One, these rappers are not just rappers now, right? They were influencing people before, but now these people are officially influencers. So you're going to take care of your children. I will. And probably most people on this panel, right? If not everybody. But there's many people who don't have the same opportunity, right? So they're not getting the influence from their parents. And I understand that's not our fault. We can't save them. But does that mean that we want to throw them in the trash and leave them to the Glorillas? Is that what we want to do? Leave them to the Sukianas? Do we want to Leave them to the Cardi B's. Is that what we do? We want to leave them to the Sexy Reds? We want to throw our children to them? Is that what we really want to do? When there's other people out here who can do so much better. Let's just say they weren't watching that and that wasn't available. What if they were watching how to invest, how to make money, how to be a mother? What if that was available? I think that what they're doing is a detriment to society. And two, they are representing us. And that's a problem. This is the people who are the most famous, and they represent us as a people. They should be eradicated.
Well,
period,
that's because
off of the internet.
The thing about that though,
hold on, Julio. I'm gonna throw it to you, Julio. Yeah, Julio, you take care of number two because I already know what you're gonna say. Let me explain number one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Trev. I'm sorry. Bye. We can't save all of y'all. It's not enough room in this lifeboat because we tried that for 30 years. I tried it, Trev. We tried to say, and you can't save them. You can't win with them. You can't play with them. You can't coach them. Can't do it. We tried
I don't think we
that.
Should just throw. You can't just throw our society away, though.
Trev, all those alternatives that you gave in your first issue is available to every one of them, and it's available more now than ever. They got YouTube, they got Clubhouse, they got Twitter, they got online help, they got courses, they got programs in every city, everybody has the opportunity. And if they choose, that's what one of the biggest things that the movie The Matrix has taught everybody is about choice. If they choose to stay asleep, I can't help you. So that's number one.
Yeah, but
yes, goodbye. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm looking for those who's willing to do the work. I'm looking for those who really who realize that what she said is crazy and stupid. Come on, ride with me. The rest of y'all that like that shit, y'all stay right over there. I'm not trying to convert nobody no more. And then
we weren't all afforded the same opportunity. That's the problem, right? Some of us have good parents and good examples. But when you're talking about 70 to 80% of us raised in single parent households by single mothers, they're going to have a lot more difficulty navigating through life, and influence is going to be much more important to those people. So I pull quotes all the time, right? At anybody who I can reach, young men, young women, and sometimes it works. I've pulled some people out of the gutter. Right? I don't just give up on people. If I could help somebody in my circle, in my society, anybody who I encounter, I try to give them game. Anybody I run into, anybody who's ever met me in their life, they're going to say I offered some type of value because I see that as my civic duty to do that. I can't just let people go like that. This is our society. We can't be so selfish. We can't just let everybody go. Anybody who I feel like I can help, save, whatever, I'm going to do my damnedest to do it, even if it's just game. Sometimes that one word, we all know somebody who put something in our ear. They put a bug in our ear and just gave us some game and was like, damn, you know what? It might not resonate with them right away, but over time it could. And if there are more of us trying to give them positive things to think about, positive things to do, it's going to work better than us just saying the hell with them, let the rappers have them.
Well, here's the thing, and not to, I want to get too religious in this, and I don't want to shake the table up too much, but Harriet Tubman had to leave some folks behind, taking people's ass from the plantation to the Underground Railroad. And I hate to say it, but some of these people have to get left because they want to be left. You have to understand, you cannot save everyone. There's an old carpenter that tried that 2,000 years ago. What did they do? They strung him up, they hung him from a tree, and he said straight up, if you don't love mother or father more than me, you ain't worthy of me. In other words, if you ain't willing to pick up your cross, do your job, and carry your weight, you ain't worthy to get on this ride. And the net of it is, the reason that, and you said something very interesting. You said a lot of us weren't afforded that opportunity because we were raised in single parent households, all that. But the first statement I made is, you are born looking like your mama and your daddy, but you're going to die looking like your decision. So at some point, the Jews say it's age 12 you're accountable. Some people say, some societies say you're a man at 18. Our government says you're a man at 18. At some point, we don't give a damn how you was born. We don't give a damn. The world does not give a rat's ass how you were born. What they care is, what can you produce? Especially if we sitting up here calling ourselves king, if this is king talk, we are the ones that are overall responsible for the direction of society. Sister Shahrazad Ali said that in her follow-up book to the black man's God to understand the black woman, the black woman's God to understand the black man. In chapter 1, she said plainly, the black man must accept overall responsibility for any liability arising from women and children. And the greatest fault of the black man is he has not taken accountability for his failure to support the black family. But they didn't want to talk about that section of a book because that then did something that black men in our society, we don't like that en masse being accountable. And that's the.
No, I like what you just said. Mm-hmm. We are responsible, right? We have to hold ourselves accountable, right? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Do as much as you can. I can't leave. We talk about the children here, right? Because it's not just people that are in their 20s. I understand they're full-grown adults, but she's not just talking to people in their 20s. Anybody who could pick up a phone and get on Instagram, which is there's people that are toddlers that are doing that, is going to see this message. Right, and so we have to counteract that message.
As a parent, though, because see, here's the thing: the foundational building block of society is the household. Before you can get to the country or the community or what have you, you got to control your own house. Therefore, do not worry about anybody else but yourself. When you playing basketball, you as much as we might like you can't play help side but on one other person at best. So your sphere of influence really should extend to the house, to the neighbors around you, if anything. But if you don't take care of your own household first, which is what we have failed to do collectively, we shouldn't worry about anybody else. Because again, some people will willingly choose to stay in darkness or stay divided, whatever, because some people you can't reason with. Some people don't, they cannot. Logic and reason don't mix with their DNA. We see that by that, which is why women like Glorilla can say stuff like that and have a massive following and make God knows how much money. Some people prefer toxic to truth. And it's just that, unfortunately, that's the harsh truth of reality.
Yeah, I think one component we also have to bear in mind is that you have to go out and find your tribe. You got to go find your tribe of people, right? Your neighbor to your left, your neighbor to your right, or your neighbor right across the street, you are not going to align with any, whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's, just regular values and virtues, right? You're not even on finances. You might even align with. So you need to find people that you align with on a lot of components that you value yourself as a man. In that you can get wisdom, in that you can build upon and be in community with those people. A lot of in that right there stems even a larger people. A lot of people don't even want to be in community with other people. They don't want to be in community with each other. Just look at how people are, like, this entire economic situation right now is the new migration. You're going to see everybody transition from the north down to the south. When you have people that transition from the south to the north, it's changing everything in terms of where we live, how we live, who we want to live next to. You know what I'm saying? And although, they might be your skin folk, that doesn't mean that they're your kin folk, right? You need to differentiate that quickly, because these are the people that are going to be in your community, that you're going to raise your kids around, that you're going to have your wife around, right? So these things are important, find your tribe.
This has not always been. This has not always been my point, Trev. At my age, see, I've been all over the world. I've been helping. I've had, I stopped counting how many mentees in business and in life, in my fraternity, in the Kappa League, at my college. I sat on the pulpit at churches. I built churches next to the bishop. Helping our people excel was Hope for Life Foundation. COO. I've been in and out. All that you talk about, I know what you say. This is what I've come to realize, wow, you can show somebody, you can give them the blueprint, you can give them the answers to the test, Trev, and say, here's the Scantron. I've already put a tick in all the answers. You just got to color it in with a number 2 pencil, and they'll still pick the wrong answer. And so some people you have to leave behind. And I know how you feel. It's like, no, I don't want to leave behind. I can help you. They don't want to be. A lot of people do not want to be helped. Dr. Julio
No,
said
and
they don't.
I'm not
wanna be
talking
helped. And
about
I know
everybody,
that
and
you
I
have
understand.
the energy to do it. And I know when your back start hurting, you get a little older, and you're gonna be like, God damn. And you look back and you say, well, what happened to you? Oh, Shan, it's all good, man. Let me hold $20. It's like, what?
But at
Nigga,
the
do you
same
know
time, I've
what?
seen there's been a lot of people who were going in the wrong direction. The youth that I've been able to help turn around. I'm talking about bringing up credit scores. I'm talking about looking for better jobs. I'm talking about
That's because they
advancing in
wanted it.
life, learning how to deal with relationships.
Yeah, but they had
Yeah, well, it
they
didn't
wanted
look
it.
like it. It didn't look like it. It
but
didn't
it's
look
not
like it, but
what
I
it
didn't give up
seemed.
on them.
if they had the innate desire to want to do, there's an
It was
internal
inside
fire
of
that
them.
always. And see, this is the thing. I'm assuming everybody on the panel is familiar with Dr. Jordan Peterson. So there's an interesting thing that in his book 12 Rules for Life. He talks about this segment of his book on a podcast, and he basically says, if you're a man, get the hell up, change your life, make up your bed, clean up your room, because the world will not come to save you. And women look for men that they can admire. And so the thing of it is, we have to always understand, well, like it or not, we're in a competition. If you're a man, you're in competition, and you can only assist others that want to be assisted on your team. And I think a lot of times what we see with just us as a society in general, many of us are just excessively competitive. Let's just take for a brief example. Kevin Samuels tried to get men in line for what Shannon, what was it? 2 out of 3 years. And what did they do? They gave him hell. All he was trying to do was men gave this brother hell. Pushback every time. And as they're doing this, he's just saying, he's saying the same thing. Clean up your room. Hated the man for 3 out of the 5 years that he became, was really, really heavily on YouTube. And the rhetoric and some of the stuff that he said, while it was trying to get everybody in line, his message wasn't received. That's something real interesting about black folk. Messages, especially from men to men or men to communities, that are really helpful are never received until after the person has left us. Y'all ever really noticed that? Like, if y'all ever really sat down and like really thought about that for just any length of time.
Mm-hmm.
So Trey, nothing you saying is off by any stretch of the imagination. You're right. We should try to help everybody, but the sad reality is, it is impossible to do so because some people prefer ignorance to information. Some people prefer just they prefer ego to education. It's that simple.
I agree
Well,
with
no,
what
I
you're
don't want
saying,
anybody to get it
Austin.
twisted. I don't want anybody to get it twisted and think that I'm saying you got to help everybody. But everybody who wants it, you got to do it. And the youth, I can't ignore that. I can't ignore it. And that's my main focus is the youth, right? We talking about the children. Grown people, it is what it is. But children, they are able to be influenced. And if they have somebody in person that can show them and give them details, some context, it's going to be a lot different than whatever Glorilla or any of these other fools could put on the screen.
But it should be to the detriment of yourself, and that's the most important. It should be to the detriment of yourself, where you're trying to help somebody where, you spray yourself thin, where it could cost you a relationship with your significant other. That's never not worth it. So, to me, I believe in the men helping the men, or the men helping the boys, and the women helping the girls. I don't believe in crossing paths. I think the elder women should be talking to the women and letting them know the game. Like me as a man, I need to let these young bloods know at the game. It shouldn't be me as a man telling the girl no, because eventually these young girls are going to grow up to be women. So they need to have the sample and an example of what they need to be or should be as women.
Go ahead, Cloud.
Yeah, I think this is a great example of two things being true at once, right? Like I feel what Trevor's saying. Like, people like Glorilla are in a position of power, then a position of influence and authority, and so they have a great impact on what the next generation of people are going to be like. So I feel like there's extreme merit in what Trevor's saying. However, I agree with what Austin and Shannon were saying. And I think the Bible sums it up best. And I don't mean to get like religious, because I'm not even super religious, but I like the Bible because I feel like there's certain things that are just clear wisdom in it, right? And the Bible says you can't cast your pearls before swine, right? And at the end of the day, everyone's not going to be able to understand the value of pearls, you know, or jewels. When we give people knowledge and information, we call it dropping jewels or dropping gems for a reason, right? And everybody's not. Some people, when they pick up a rock, they just see a rock, and some people, when they pick up that rock, they see a ruby, a sapphire, an onyx, you know, a gem, a topaz. Like, they can identify what that rock is, and they're willing to do the work necessary to polish it, cut it, and do whatever it takes to get there. And that's just the unfortunate reality that we exist in. You know, contrary to like what Trev is saying, which I feel him 100%. But unfortunately, as much as we can try to say, hey, don't focus on Glorilla, people are still going to do it. And at the same time, one could make the argument that her presence and her information and her being out there is a great thing, because there might be some girls who watch that and say, I don't want to be like that. And it might give them an even more clear example of what not to be like. So to Shannon's point, I think that apparent, like these women can actually help to create a clear line in the sand, so that we can actually decide, okay, so that's what the hoes look like, and that's what the wives look like.
What?
And it might sound crazy, but there's always going to be hoes and wives. Like, we might not like the truth in it, but there's a use in society for hoes, and there's a use in society for wives. And I feel like what's more important is being able to find the clear separation, so that we can find what we're looking for in life. You know, if you want to be out there in the streets, I think you should be going to the hoes, and don't mess up the you know, all these women that are out here looking for relationships. You know, don't ruin their heart and break their heart because you out here trying to run the street. You should be able to identify who the ladies of the street are and go find them for your business. And if you're looking for a wife, you should be able to have a clear definition of what that is, so you can go find that and you don't get your heart broken by these hoes. You know what I mean? And I feel like as long as we can identify everything clearly, I feel like that makes a difference. We live in a society now where nobody wants to put labels on things. And I actually think putting labels on things gives us a clear way to interact with it. You know exactly what it is because you can define it. So I just feel like we need to get back to making a clear definition, and that way we know what we're dealing with, we know how to adjust to it, and then we can move forward from there.
All right. You mad? We saw the video. You want to chime in on this one or get on the next topic? You're on mute, just so you know.
Appreciate it. What's going on, guys? No, I didn't see the video, but I'm pretty sure, like, when it comes to Glorilla and her music, I'm pretty familiar of how she moves and what she says. But I'll say this real quick. I didn't see the clip, but there's a quote that she has in one of her songs called Lick or Something. And towards the end, yeah, it's basically a remake of the 3 6 Mafia song. Yeah, so she just kind of flipped it for the females dynamic. Anyway, towards the end of the song, the quote is, if you loving on this nigga and he loving on the hoes, my advice to you, bitch, is gonna be a hoe. And she says it multiple times towards the end of the song. Like, if you loving on this nigga and he loving on the hoes, my advice to you, bitch, gonna be a hoe.
You can't expect me to take you seriously.
Like, I mean, how problematic is that? Just alone. I mean, you're literally, and we gotta remember now, you're literally telling the youth, go and be a hoe. Do all the things, be outside, show your coochie, show your boobs, you know, be naked, do whatever you feel like doing at any given moment, any given time. Now, granted, I love what Clap was saying a minute ago. There's always been hoes in our society, forever. There's always been hoes. There's always been wives. It's always been there. But the issue is this behavior and these messaging is not affecting the grown women out here who are trying to be wives. They're affecting the teenagers. The audience are the young girls, the preteens, the teenagers who don't know better. That's the problem. And they're the minds that are soaking up everything like sponges. And if you've got someone who's, you know, hot right now, you know, in the airways, popular, popping. The songs are constantly on repeat. I mean, all it really is mind control. All it is just, it's just messaging over and over and over again. And if you keep hearing it over and over and over again, you're going to start doing the behaviors that you see every day, that you hear every day. You don't have to know Glorilla to know the type of things that she does. If you see it all the time, you see the videos, you see what's on MTV, BET, you see what's on YouTube, you hear it on the airwaves all the time, you go to the shows, you know what's going on. So it's our youth that they're after. I think I might have said this in another show, that Cardi B already said she won't let her daughter Culture listen to any of her music, watch any of her videos. Young Miami already said when she does have a daughter, she can't be a city girl and she cannot watch or consume any of her content. I mean, it's come out the horse's mouth right there.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, but literally though, it's you're banning your own children from seeing the horrible stuff that you're putting out into the world for young women to consume. That you're literally shaping and forming a whole generation on how they're going to move going forward and how they're going to move in dating, how they're going to move when they deal with men. It's toxic as hell. And, I tell the young kings out there, do you focus on you and stay on your purpose, because it's a whole lot of games being played right now. It's a whole lot of BS. So don't let that derail anything that you have going on.
I like that. You good? Say anything?
Mm-hmm.
I know Cloud said this. Sweeney said anything in the chat. Yeah, he said something. I think Cloud was trying to hold you accountable, Sweeney.
Hold me accountable for what?
Guys, just turn there. Welcome to King.
No, I just didn't remember for her, Sweeney. Yeah,
make sure we hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, shout out to the sponsor, Teach Healing Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. Make sure you guys go ahead and get that Teach pack. A lot of great goodies in there. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic of the night. This comes from Earn Your Leisure. Earn Your Leisure says, treat the entrepreneur as somebody that is the most important person in the whole spectrum. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
You are at some point in time, your career is going to be over. But if you're an entrepreneur, you're really changing the dynamic of your community. So stop treating the entrepreneur like, oh, he's just a cool person to hang around with, or they're doing some cool things. No, stop doing that. Treat the entrepreneur as somebody that is the most important person in the whole spectrum, because nothing moves without it. And if not, then we always going to be entertaining other people. It's like a circus. So at some point, you have to stop being entertained and really look at things critically and say, okay, if this is really for the culture is more than sports and entertainment. The culture is media. The culture is entrepreneurship. The culture is activism. The culture is politics. These are all important parts of the culture. So if you're trying to uplift the culture, you got to uplift all the voices, not just the people that are on TV.
All right. Explain. I don't know, when you put your hand over your head, man. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's this. Let me go ahead and go to Cloud, man. Earn Your Leisure says, treat the entrepreneurs as somebody that is the most important person in the whole spectrum.
Listen, man, I couldn't agree more, man. Like, I feel as though in our community, the entrepreneur is like looked at as just like it's like a like a trend. But entrepreneurs create opportunities. Like the entire American system, the backbone of America is entrepreneurship. And like me, myself, I've been an entrepreneur since I left college. And the beauty of entrepreneurship is this, right? I had a client for about 10 years that I was working with. Me taking that entrepreneur serious and doing good business with that entrepreneur led to the point where that entrepreneur ended up hiring me for something completely out of my comfort zone, to the point now I'm touring the country, doing shows, doing something that I've never done before, right? And it's like these opportunities wouldn't have been afforded to me by the typical job, by the typical 9-to-5. The reason why this opportunity was afforded to me is because of other entrepreneurs. And the reason why that entrepreneur was even able to get to that point was because they had access to an entrepreneur such as myself to help them on the graphic design end of their business. So I feel as though, like, in the Black community, we definitely need to stand behind those who are creating financial opportunities, creating jobs, creating services, because at the end of the day, one hand washes the other. These services are benefiting the people in the community, and the money that from entrepreneurships, I feel like it circles the community a lot more than a lot of the money that comes from these corporate businesses. Not just that, when you're dealing with entrepreneurs from the community, I feel like you're more likely to have people who actually care about your experience and who you are. Like when I'm touring and working with these are guys just like me. They dress like me, they talk like me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to code switch when I'm talking business with them. I don't have to be a different person. I could be who I am, and I'm able to make a bag with them. You get what I'm saying? Whereas if I was working for the typical corporation, if we're being honest, most of especially the Fortune 500 businesses in America are majority white run or majority white owned. So at the end of the day, especially in the Black community, we don't get the opportunity to really express ourselves and really keep the culture of the business true to the culture that we live by. So I completely 100% agree with them. Like, the entrepreneur to me is like the superhero in the community, and I feel like they deserve our honor, our respect, our love, and our support.
All right, Sweeney, I'm gonna go to you next. On your lead just says, treat the entrepreneur as somebody that is the most important person in the whole spectrum.
Translation: y'all ain't buying my shit enough. Now,
What did you say, nigga?
I mean, all right.
What the hell, Sweeney? What the hell? You didn't have nothing else to say.
I mean, because that's what it sounds like every time. And I'm an entrepreneur my damn self.
But come
you know
on.
what I mean? Like, and the thing is like, no, you're not the most important person in the room. You're not. You're not. You're a cog in the system just like the rest of us. Do your job. Let these other people do their job. I'm not going to sit here and say you're special. You're not.
People wouldn't have jobs if it wasn't for entrepreneurs.
Thank you.
Yeah, and entrepreneurs wouldn't have work if it wasn't for people for jobs. So
that's completely not true.
That's not true at all.
No, you can't.
That's the other way around, Sweeney.
Wait. If you don't have nobody to buy your shit because they don't have a job, then you're not an entrepreneur. You're just a motherfucker out there doing shit.
Sweeney.
People don't need a job.
Somebody has to create the product. Someone got to create the business.
Somebody had to innovate in order to be able to employ somebody else. You have to. The entrepreneur. This is one of them. In the case of which came first, the chicken or the egg. Somebody had to invent the wheel for somebody to reinvent that motherfucker. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. My point is that the entrepreneur is not special. He's just like everybody else. You do your job, I'm gonna do mine.
All right, look at us right now, right? Sorry to cut you off, but we all on YouTube right now, right? And like, somebody invented the cameras that we all using to stream with right now, right? Somebody invented the microphone that we're all recording on. We all got quality mics, right? Somebody invented that. Like, the clothes that we have on our back that we're presenting ourselves with. Somebody invented all of those things, and they created entire industries. There are people who feed their entire family, right? Because they composed, they put together the mics that we're using right now in a factory, and our demand for the mics allows them to have a job, like allows them to have food on their table. You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't say that they were useless. I didn't say that. I said that they are the same cog in the system as the rest of us. All of us have to contribute to this society. Some people invent, some people create, some people use their hands, some people work, some people shovel snow, some people make coffee. All of us are needed. But to say, oh, we need to treat them as the most important person in the whole spectrum is absolutely asinine.
Well, hold on. I got some deliberate pushback for you. Why shouldn't you treat them like they're the most important person in the room? Everybody seen that quote? I was raised to treat the janitor with the same respect as the CEO. Why not? If you're dealing with them in a business interaction, why not just give them? Why not treat them? It don't mean you got to buy their product, but you can still treat them with the utmost respect. I
didn't say don't treat them with respect. I said you don't have to treat them as the most important person in the room.
What I'm saying is, we love talking about among black folks. Black folks don't support each other. Ain't that the tried and true trope? Black folks don't support, other black businesses. So if somebody has a business, you could at least promote it if you don't want to purchase their products. What when you say they need to be better, Sweeney, quantify that. What the hell does that mean?
Wait, when did I say they need to be better?
You said they're not buying his shit enough, which means if they're not buying it,
I said translation, because that's what black folks tend to say when they shit ain't being bought, is that they say y'all not supporting the entrepreneur enough. That's what they say. You not supporting me enough. Y'all need to get off y'all ass and treat the entrepreneurs like the most important person in the room. That's what you do when there ain't nobody buying your shit.
Oh my God.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you. This is a crazy thing. I done heard straight up barbers say black people don't support black business. Nigga, you a barber. Majority of your clients are black. Like, come on, man.
But it depends on if you can good hair or not. Because if niggas can't good hair.
And the thing is that all I'm saying is that I'm not gonna treat you like you're the most important person in the room. You have a use to the group. I appreciate your use. But you're not the most important person in the room because you can't live without me and I can't live without you.
Sweeney, who's the most important person in the room then?
Nobody.
Who is it?
We all need it.
Nobody's overly important.
Not when it comes to this, it ain't.
Well, I guess it's
not the person with the bag, not the person with the money, not the person creating the opportunities, not the person creating the product, not the person who's working in the factory. Like, so nobody is.
That person doesn't exist without other people. People need people. That's what I'm saying. You're not important.
But there's still a hierarchy.
You're not the most important.
There's still a hierarchy, though.
There's a hierarchy amongst. If I need,
you can have a king and you can have all the subjects. The king needs the subjects to do their work.
But we're not talking about
to
kings
keep everything running.
Listen, Sweeney, when you out getting dinner,
everybody is technically needed, but they bowing down to somebody, or somebody is getting more.
The king has a job, but without his subjects, the king is no one. How are you going to be king of nobody? Somebody has to be willing to do the work for you. A kingdom without people is what?
But here's the thing: nobody's saying that there should be without people. What they're saying is who's more important, who's getting a little bit extra respect, who's getting a little bit extra sauce. That's what we're basically saying.
In your worldview, Sweeney.
Listen, man, I don't think no entrepreneur deserves just as much, no more sauce than everybody else.
I'm an entrepreneur. Real world scenario, right? Real world scenario, right? You and your girl out at dinner.
Real world.
You and your girl out at dinner. Y'all at Peter Luger's. You having a steak, right? Y'all having a good dinner.
Not Peter Luger's.
The owner of the restaurant comes out and asks you how your steak was. You telling me that doesn't mean more to you than your waiter coming out and asking you how the steak was? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I tipped the waiter.
You tipped the waiter, but what I'm saying is when the owner comes out to have a conversation with you about your steak, the owner of the establishment comes out. You telling me that doesn't mean something to you? That's not going to change your experience there?
I don't care.
If my steak is bad, it doesn't matter whether the owner come out or the
owner himself come out and bring you a brand new steak.
If whether the owner comes out and gives me a bad steak or the person that come or the damn waiter come out and give me a bad steak, is it not still a bad steak?
Who said it had to be bad?
If it's a good steak, if the owner comes out and gives me a good steak, and the waiter comes out and gives me a good steak, it's still a good steak.
I'm talking about bad steak at Peter Luger's.
Sweeney, listen, wait, question. Hold on, Sweeney. You said nobody gets more respect than the other. Question: you got an iPhone or an Android?
I got an iPhone.
So that means you gave the person the man. Hold on. No. You ain't gonna run from this now.
I like where you're going, Austin.
No, yeah. So that means that you made a decision. What that means is that you made a choice in your mind that for whatever reason, the brother that manufactured this right here, this one, deserved your money more than the person that manufactured Android. Maybe it was the hardware, maybe it was the software, whatever it may be. So how dare you feed that bullshit to us on this panel? How dare you
ask me who I am? I didn't.
Talking
I just showed
right
you who I
here,
was.
talking that bullshit.
I don't care if the manager came out and asked if my steak was good or not. It doesn't matter to me.
No, he's living in a made-up communist society.
Because you want to know what?
Everybody's equal.
Let me explain it to you this way. Let me put it this way. I'm an entrepreneur, right?
Uh-huh.
I cut hair for a living.
Okay.
Without any of those people having a job, any of those people working, I have no job.
But if you
they are just as important. They are just as important to me.
Who's looking up to who?
I treat the landlord with his respect, though.
One at a
I
time.
bet y'all treat the shop owner with that respect, though. I bet when the shop owner come in, y'all make sure the shop real clean.
And here's the thing.
I bet y'all make sure y'all pay for that booth on time.
Watch this.
There is no
Hold
shop
on.
owner
Look,
with me.
not even to, but Sweeney, if you go to a good ass barber, like for me, okay, I go. My barber has been cutting my hair for like 5-6 years. Every time I go get a cut, and that line up extra crispy, and I got go walk outside, and women stare at me a little bit different. First when I didn't have no damn. Hey, come on now. First when I didn't have no cut. You gonna get that brother that lined your ass up clean as a mug, a whole hell of a lot more respect than the opposite. Don't feed me the bullshit like you, because if you go if you walk outside your house and you get your hair cut and then you pull a 10 that you know you couldn't have got if your shit wasn't right. You pull a 10, I bet your ass you gonna back there and hey boy, you got me right last week. Know what I'm saying? You set me up. Okay. You gonna give him you gonna either tip him, like you said, you tip the waiter, and a tip, you exchanging that money at a higher rate than it, because he know he charged you 20, but you're gonna give him another 10 because he lined your ass up, right? You know what I'm saying he might have used the razor this week. You feel me? You're gonna give him another dose of respect because he provided a service. And let's be real, in the fantasy world you living in, everybody get the same respect. But in the real world over here, higher quality demands higher respect. That's how it goes.
All right. So the thing about that is that
I second that.
I am that barber. Judge. And you want to know what? I also treat my clients with the same amount of respect, regardless. I treat every client with the same amount of respect.
Your name Jesus.
I appreciate every last one of them, every single day, because without them, I have no
Sweeney
job.
But so Sweeney,
I view them in the same. Y'all are trying to
some other guys in there, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, we can, but I'm just letting y'all know I view them the same way that I expect them to view me.
The question is, do they view you the same way and every other barber the same way? If you're the creme de la creme,
but that's the thing, though.
If you're the best, your prices might be a little bit higher because you have a different skill set, an elevated skill set to the other barbers in your shop. Don't you think that they're making that choice and that decision when they spend their money with you? Since you're VIP barber, they want a VIP cut. If they're over here with old Dusty next to you, they're not gonna pay the same money. They're not gonna get the same quality. You know what I'm saying? So you might treat all your customers the same, but do all customers treat all barbers the same?
You know what's tripped out? You want to know what's tripped out about that, B Madden?
What?
I've seen some of the worst barbers who give out some of the worst haircuts get told they was the greatest barber on the planet. Every single time. They never felt it. I've given out a bad haircut and I knew it was a bad haircut. And they said, man, you the greatest on the planet. All of us hear it.
What?
Until you do something wrong to that customer, then you become the worst barber on the planet. And then they go to another barber and talk about how you suck.
Well, I guess ignorance is bliss then, because if they don't know quality,
I pretty much got it. Sweeney says entrepreneurs are suck asses. I got you, Sweeney.
I'm just saying. My entire point is that I value all people. I value them all. You know what I mean? We all are required in this world to do the job that's necessary to make the world go. All of us are appreciated. I'm not going to say that the entrepreneur, and especially considering the fact that, and let's keep. I ain't going down that road. We can go to somebody else.
Look.
Yeah,
I understand.
It's the panel versus Sweeney
level, right? On a philosophical level.
Hold on. We're gonna circle back around. I see Luis and Trev and Shan sitting around, and he chimed in a little bit, but let's go ahead and let's go to Luis and then go to Trev.
Yeah, I do know that the first entrepreneurs were merchants and traders, right? Like those were the first entrepreneurs. They saw a problem, they saw a deficit, and they inserted themselves in that problem to come up with a solution, to provide a service and good for their neighbors, for their family, and people in their community. It starts off with just a crazy idea that becomes a passion, and then it grows like wildfire from there. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneurship is the spirit of being able to do what you are passionate about and create it into a very passionate and lucrative business. Like it all starts somewhere. And if you think I'm lying, How often? When was the last time y'all seen an 8-year-old outside selling lemonade and bottles of water and cookies and homemade snacks? That's where it starts. That's that entrepreneurship. You know, you feed that into that young boy who learns how to, like, okay, we're gonna get some snacks together and we're going to sell lemonade and we're gonna sell fruit juice, right? The kid who used to go around the school selling you all the candies, all the candy bars and all of that. That's all. It all starts somewhere, and then it just grows from there from the different interests until they develop something of an interest of their own. They're always going to facilitate people that, and you want to know something? Those people are typically not your A students. Those are not your A and B students. Those are typically like C and C minus students because they don't work or function within a space or within a structure, right? They tend to kind of need more room to kind of meander, right? Those are the type of people who are your college dropout, your high school dropout, and then they build the business and then boom, multi-millionaire or billionaire. Like all these stories happen, but we can't confine people to this one singularity idea. Nothing exists in a vacuum, and nothing is really linear. You know what I'm saying? Design informs design, and life informs life. And I think that as far as entrepreneurship, I think it's the staple in which we teach a lot of people how to become self-sufficient and not be able to fall into this trap idea of a paycheck, because it's a delusion in which allows people to throw away their dreams for a small slice of sense of security.
All right, let me go ahead and go to Trev. Smooth. I see you shaking your head, Sweeney. We have to figure out what that's all about. Go ahead, Trev. Trev, can you hear me?
My bad. I was trying to get that mute button and my other stuff was getting in the way. I don't know. I'm kind of with Sweeney on this one, man, because
What?
right about now, yeah, I'll tell you why. See, to me, it's like entrepreneurs right now, there's so many of them. It's like rappers right now, right? Like it's so many of them. So how do you know who's supposed to be the most important person? He didn't say in the room, he said in the spectrum. So it's like, I mean, again, anybody who I see doing something, I support, right? I give them the respect, but I don't see where you become the most important person in the room, because at the end of the day, it's so many of us trying to do it. Let's just take a poll out the panel. How many people are entrepreneurs here? Show of hands. Few people. Oh, yeah, like, okay. And that's what I'm saying. It's so many of us that are doing it. It's like, how do you know who to invest in? Again, any way that I can show support to entrepreneurs, I do. I do respect it. But how are you the most important when damn near all of us are trying to be entrepreneurs out here?
That's the rabbit hole I didn't want to go down.
Let me go to Hank. Emmanuel Hank. Y'all.
Well, my opinion on it, man, shame on you, Sweeney. To me, as far as entrepreneurs, yeah, I think they should be held to a higher standard, because it gives a positive influence amongst the youth. To give them something to look forward to, you know what I'm saying? Something to look up to, other than maybe somebody who's in sports or into some other entertainment. You know, that positive influence that you could look up to and do something and build something of their own and something to call their own. So yeah, I think our entrepreneurs are very important, and they should be held to a higher standard, way higher than what we held sports figures and entertainers. So that's just my opinion. Sweeney, you the devil. That's all I'm gonna say.
I didn't say we should hold. I never said anything about holding entertainers and ball players to the most important role in the world. You ain't hear that come from me. So I never made that comparison.
Go ahead, B
All
man.
right, so I have to agree with Hank on this one because I kind of want to keep this in context of kind of what the whole clip was about. And what I gathered from it was the culture needs to hold up the entrepreneur in a higher status, in the spectrum, to look up to and whatnot, instead of looking up to entertainers and ball players, and having the youth think that's the only way they can make it. And let's just be honest, like, that's really a racial thing, because white folks don't worship their entertainers the same way. They see the entertainment, they enjoy the entertainment, but they don't worship in the same way as it's set up in the Black community. The culture is whatever is trendy, whatever is hot, whatever is a way that we can express ourselves. That tends to be in entertainment heavily, and that's how it's marketed as such. But you guys got to remember that the entrepreneur is just now starting to really get the voice in the community, in the culture, more recently, because before they kept that away from us. Like, all the people who were making huge moves, buying up real estate, buying up apartment buildings and complexes, and starting up candy factories and different things like that, starting software companies. You don't see them on BET. You don't see them on the front page of the newspaper. You don't see Robert F. Smith all the time. Like, he just came out and said, "This is who I am. I'm a billionaire. You guys should know who I am." But he's been working in secret or in the background for years, for decades. Why are we just not hearing about him? So yes, I believe we should put more of a spotlight on entrepreneurs in general. But I mean, Trev was talking about there's so many. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. And right now, it's a trendy thing right now. It is being trendy simply because we're on the internet right now, and the way, money is being made is different. So everybody wants to get on a podcast. Everyone wants to get in front of a camera. Everyone wants to, drop ship a product. Everyone wants to print their own T-shirts and that kind of stuff. Like, that will never go away. There's always going to be a lemonade stand. Kind of like Luis was saying, it's always going to be a lemonade stand. There's always going to be cookies to sell. It's the way our economy goes. That's just part of the cycle. But everybody's got something different. So yes, there's a whole bunch of people that want to be entrepreneurs, but one, everyone's not experienced. Two, everyone's not good, and everyone doesn't have a great product. So at the end of the day, the cream will rise to the top. If you're great, it's going to show. It's going to show in the reviews. It's going to show in the sales, and you just keep, working it and getting better and better and better, and just zooming in on that. But the ones that fall off, and it all autocorrects. So I'm gonna land there.
All right, go ahead, brother Shan. It's on you. And Swin, I'm still curious why you're shaking your head.
America was built and is currently run on small business. That's what we do here in the land of the free. Small business is the artery that keeps this whole country going the way it does. And in the Black community, we're sorely lacking in that area because we have this crab in the barrel spirit that has been instilled in us at some point in the past that has kind of degraded our entrepreneurial spirit. And I believe part of our salvation is, and the upliftment of our community is rooted in capitalism. But let me be clear about something. There's not a lot of entrepreneurs. Trev, it's not a lot of entrepreneurs. There's a lot of business owners. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a complete difference between being self-employed and being an entrepreneur. I teach it over on my panel. In fact, I'm talking about it at the Black Manosphere Conclave in Atlanta next month. I have a whole show on it. Entrepreneurs and self-employed are completely different. Self-employed, see, anybody can start a business. Run over and get an EIN number. You can do that online now for free. Run over to Bank of America, open up your business checking account. Maybe even establish your LLC, all for under $100. Now suddenly don't forget to get your business cards printed over at Vistaprint. Those are $19.95 for 1,000 cards. Got the templates online. You can design them right there. Or you could just jump on Canva, make you some sexy business cards, and suddenly you're an entrepreneur. See, that's not an entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen. That's just somebody that started a business.
I was just going by the definition of it, right? So
let me finish. Because I teach the definition. Self-employed, anybody can start a business, and not everybody can run a company. Running a business and running a company is completely different. Being self-employed and being an entrepreneur is completely different. Being an entrepreneur, you have a system in place. You run a system. It'll take me too long to explain it because it's an hour lecture that I have for that. So when the brothers on that podcast say uplift, or what did he say? Somebody that is most important person in the whole spectrum. Identifying entrepreneurs, not self-employed, not everybody that ran and that started a business, not everybody that claimed they got a company. Claim they got a business and is out there just a one-man show, or for women specifically, one woman show. She a boss, but ain't in charge of nobody but herself. And she better get up and go to work at her real boss's job. It's not that many entrepreneurs. And when you deal with a real entrepreneur, somebody who's running a system and is responsible for other people's lives, like me, I have to come up with payroll every Friday, period. Yeah, those people should be exalted, I think, is what the podcast is saying. Not necessarily more important, but should be exalted, should be praised, should be, wow, you did that, a little bit more than somebody who's just chilling, drops the pen at 5 o'clock, goes home, watches the rest of their Netflix series, eats some burgers, falls asleep, wakes up and goes to the job the next day, wash, rinse, repeat, versus the entrepreneur who is probably never getting no sleep, who's always working. There ain't no time clock for him or her. Those people should probably be exalted a little higher, because not only do they take care of themselves, yes, of course, for the successful entrepreneur, there's going to be a windfall of resources, cash, money that's going to come to that person, but they take care of other people. And by taking care of other people, you are building the community that we always talk about. We own this, building the community. Those are the people that's doing it. That's how America was built. And if we can, in the Black community, get out of this crab in the barrel spirit, because we quick to congratulate somebody when they get a promotion at their job. Oh, you see it on Facebook all the time. I just got a new job, y'all. Want to get 1,000 likes, whole bunch of congrats. But you find somebody that wants to start a business and aspires to be an entrepreneur. Oh, okay. You think I don't know about that. You sure you want to do that? Oh, okay. Well, I'll support you. And they can't get a sale from their friends or family. Not one person. Ask Lapeef. Ask him how many of his friends and family have gone to Lapeef.com and bought a hoodie. I already know. I already know how many did. So when I see somebody that's taking care of other people, families, I'm going to exalt that person a little bit higher than the person that's just chilling, accepting the basic mediocrity of life. And those people are important. Don't get me wrong. Everybody can't be a boss, but let's not dog the bosses. Let's give them a little bit of props, because those are the people that's making it available for everybody else to go home and watch Netflix.
All right, go ahead, Sweeney. You was shaking your head, man. What was it all about when Luis was talking?
Sweeney looks like somebody stole his lunch money.
Entrepreneur, a person who starts a business and is willing to risk loss in order to make money. That's what it is pretty much at its base. Luis said that it's Damn, I kind of forgot it. Something he alluded to something along the lines of people just going to make being stuck or enslaved to a paycheck, and that is what's wild to me, because one of the things that the one of the core things about owning a business is having employees whom have to get a paycheck, and without them, you have no business. Shannon already pretty much alluded to that. Without them, there is no business. It's just you doing some shit. Without the customer base, there is no business. Without your employees, there is no business. So this is the reason why I said I value everybody the same. And you have a job in society, there's room for everybody. You know what I mean? We need our entrepreneurs, just like we need the 9-to-5ers. Just like we need the people who work in this way. Just like we need those who are innovators. We need creators. We need doctors. We need them all. But what happens is, and I get what Shannon's saying. There's a lot of people that would tear down a family member or whatever or say that, hey, look, man, I don't think that's going to work out for you. But on the other side of the spectrum, people always expect, just because I know you or just because I'm cool with you, that means you must automatically support me, without ever once figuring out, is your product good enough for people to want to buy? We expect our family members to want to come in and go out on a limb and buy our shit just because we family. No, do you have some shit that I actually like to do you listen to your family if they say, hey, no, I don't think you should. We like red hoodies. We don't like green ones. Why are you making green hoodies? And then you surprised that they don't want the damn green hoodie. Or you selling plates saying, man, don't nobody want to buy my plates. Are you selling good plates? I don't think that I think the problem is that, and I'm agreeing with y'all. I will say this. I do believe that they are valuable. But everybody is there are other people that are just as valuable to that community. And not only are we not pushing, and I get what y'all are saying, not only are we not pushing entrepreneurship, we're pushing people to just be lazy in general. Don't nobody even want to go to work. Can we get people to go back to work first before we start telling them to go out and start businesses and LLCs? Like, can we get there first? They ain't even doing that. We gonna jump right past that. And like, people, how you gonna start a business? You don't know what it's like to work underneath somebody. But we want to push on our kids. Just go out there and start a business. But when you get somebody up underneath you, start losing employees and stuff. Or when you try to get an employee, you can't keep nobody working with you because you don't know what it's like to be out there and actually grind with someone. To actually do, you know what I mean, work underneath someone. How do you learn how to be a boss if you never had to follow anybody? How do you learn how to lead? So can we just get us into the job field first, choosing the right job? Because I get what Shannon is saying, but Trev is right. There's a lot of people trying to be entrepreneurs right now, doing multi-level marketing, trying to sell goddamn. I call them, what do I call them? I call them jackasses of all trades. You want to cut hair, fight dogs, make plates. You want to go over there and do fire sticks. You want to come over here and throw frisbees and everything. Like you want to do everything and you make less than a motherfucker that's working at McDonald's right now. Because you don't know, like, you have no direction. You're just trying to hurry up and get out there and just start a business. Anything would do. So I mean, I get what y'all saying, but that my ultimate point is that we have to understand every facet of society and push what is necessary, and then let people make their choices. And we don't have to demonize. I don't have to demonize entrepreneurs to make sure that people understand that, hey, look, actually working and stability is also a good thing as well. And I don't have to down 9-to-5ers to say that entrepreneurs is also a good thing. I recognize their contributions to society.
Look,
we need to get past pushing bad shit first. We pushing a lot of bullshit, and then we're trying to overcorrect and say now we need entrepreneurship. No, we need to correct the bullshit that we already put on people, saying that they can be out. It's okay for them to sit down and be lazy. It's okay for them not to have to work. So that's why I'm at with it. But I get what y'all saying, fellas.
I agree with a lot of what you just said, except for this one thing. You said something about like the business doesn't exist without the employees. And I feel like you're looking at it as though like the restaurant can't sell plates without the servers, but I feel like you're not looking at it from the perspective of like the reason why the restaurant needs servers is because they did so much on the marketing end that they're guaranteed to have customers walking through that door. That's why they need servers. That's why they need cashiers, because one person can't handle all the business that the business has already generated on behalf of those employees. So I feel like we love to look at it from a perspective as, oh, well, look at all the same with like a company like Amazon, right? We love to say, oh, well, look at all the people driving for Amazon. They're the ones who make the business possible. No, the website is what makes the business possible, because if that website wasn't bringing in millions of orders a day, guess what? You wouldn't have a route. You wouldn't have nowhere to drop off nothing to. So we like to give the people who benefit off of the system the credit for what the system actually provides, right?
Well,
like the reason why so many people have jobs at Amazon is because Jeff Bezos and his team created a system that provides for them, a system that provides them with a place that they can fit in to be able to generate income. They're not just generating that income just off the strength of them driving the cars and delivering stuff. That's not what's making the business run. So I feel like we have to remember that somebody masterminded a system that worked so well that it was not only able to provide for the person who first initially founded it, but also to be able to perpetually continue to provide for others. You know what I mean? Like it only took a few people to make the formula for Coca-Cola, and the Coca-Cola company has been providing for families for generations now. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like those people who created that formula, they deserve that credit. It don't matter. There's no way to slice it. If they did not create that Coca-Cola formula, there are millions of businesses in America that millions of people wouldn't have jobs if it wasn't for Coca-Cola. Just one product that somebody made provides for tons of people in America. So I can't necessarily agree with you on that concept.
Well, the thing is that, and I get what you're saying, but the business is not even scalable without the employees being there to work. You can't scale the business out. So it doesn't, if you sell Coca-Cola, right? You created Coca-Cola. But then instead of me coming and working for you to scale your business up, I say, well, I'm going to start Sweeney Cola.
Have incentive.
I'm going to start Sweeney Cola. Now we both got Coca-Cola, but neither one of our businesses can be scaled out because we don't have it. Everybody's trying to do their own thing. The employee is still just as important because you
Cola if you got customers. But if you got customers for Sweeney Cola, you could scale it whether you do scale it out with machines, whether you scale it out with programs and algorithms, whether you scale it out with actual workers.
You need somebody
at the end of the day, if you got customers coming in buying them, you can scale it out.
But you need somebody to build the machines, and the customers need to have jobs to even buy the stuff that you're selling. That's my point, is that
I can give you a perfect example of what you're saying being false, right? Look at companies like Airbnb. Look at companies like look at all these companies that don't own any product and barely have any employees, but generate billions of dollars of revenue. What's your excuse for those companies, right? There are multiple companies with less than 100 employees that are generating billions of dollars for multiple people. How is that possible?
You think Airbnb doesn't have any employees?
I'm not saying Airbnb doesn't have employees, but they don't even own any properties.
But the
service they created allows tons of people in America to make money.
But you're still saying it as if they don't have any employees to depend on. And you also still alluding to the fact like they don't have a customer base that are pretty much mostly 9-to-5 workers that they depend on to buy said product. I'm not saying that entrepreneurs are not important. I'm saying that all of these people are important because without regular folks, entrepreneurs have nothing to sell.
Sweeney, I would have to give you. The part that you're missing on to explain to Sweeney is Sweeney's not understanding supply and demand. It's the supply and demand factor, that equation that you're missing, Sweeney, because I know what you're saying. Well, you can't have a business if you don't have employees, and you can't have employees. And what good would it be employees if you had a business? But businesses need employees. But consumers, Sweeney, consumers is what drives it all. That's why they used to say the customer's always right. Supply and demand is the engine that drives all of it. And so when we wonder about what came first, the chicken or the egg, the consumer came first. What do you have that everybody needs? It ain't got nothing to do with who's strong enough, bold enough, and daring enough to try to build it. When that person builds it and those people want it, there will be employees. The thing that comes first is the entrepreneur. It's not the employees, because the entrepreneur is driven by the demand of what people want. That's just the way it is. Our chair, our microphones, our computers, our table, your clippers, whether you got the Andes Pros or you got some Cadillac Cheers.
And the entrepreneur is always employee number one. The entrepreneur is always
just remember,
it's
and another thing that you mentioned, Sweeney, I just want to put this out there. When I was talking about that crab in the barrel spirit, if your brother, sister, cousin, uncle, auntie, nephew, niece starts a business, I don't care if they have good service. I don't care if they have good product. Buy it anyway.
Yeah, no, not doing that.
All right, so we got to transition. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. Let's make sure we hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's time to get to the main topic of the night. Before I did ask in the chat if a couple ladies wanted to call in on a bat phone. So we got a number that we drop and you guys can call in. I think BATL said that she wanted to cam up. So we'll see. Maybe I'll drop the link and see if you can cam up on the back end. Only taking about 2 people. I mean, 3 at the most, depending on how we go through this topic. For you to ask the panel questions while you got all the men on the panel, or maybe some insight. So I'll do that on the back end. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my green gang that's in the chat. Big Pressure, I see you. Blacksicon. Angela Swift. She's one of the people who said she was going to call in. So we'll see. Want to become part of the green gang, hit that link that's pinned to the top of the chat. Good deals. I see you as well. And again, shout out to the sponsor, TJ Hanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. Click that link that's in the description. Got all type of goodies. Go ahead and get that Teej pack. Again, that link is in the description. Now for the main topic of the night, which is a woman doesn't need to love her man. A woman doesn't need to love her man. I can see Shannon just agreeing with it. You're like, yes. Let me go ahead and play this clip for context. Luis, hang on in there, brother. Hang on in there. I'm coming to you first, Luis. All right.
People are searching for love. Even in the Bible, it says that a man loves a woman. A woman does not love a man. Yes, I didn't hear anything like that in the Bible. That the woman loving their husband. They said a woman respects their husband. But the man loves. So it's out of that love that comes a creation. It's out of love that comes competition. It's out of love that a nation is built. It's out of love that a lot of things happen. But at the same time, the same love has tricked some of us. Because we give love for wrong reasons. Some people are giving love for looks. Some people are giving love for beauty. Some people are giving love because of money. I decided to give love to humanity. A lot of people are searching for love. Even in the Bible, it says that a man loves a woman. A woman does not love a man. Yes, I didn't hear anything like that in the Bible. That the woman loving their husband. They said a woman respects their husband. But the man loves. So it's out of that love that comes a creation. It's out of love that comes competition. It's out of love that a nation is built. It's out of love that a lot of things happen. But at the same time, the same love has tricked some of us. Because we give love for wrong reasons. Some people are giving love for looks. Some people are giving love for beauty. Some people are giving love because of money. I decided to give love to humanity.
All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. A woman doesn't need to love her man. Start out with you, Luis. What are your thoughts about that?
I've always felt that, respect, a woman respecting her man is the foundation and byproduct of her loving her man. I think that it starts off with the respect. I understand that love comes from other conditions, right? And so that's where I kind of get that, a woman doesn't need to love her man. She first needs to respect that man, honor that man. And I think that the love eventually shows up in other areas. You know, helping that man in any way, shape, or form in his life. You know, helping him on his purpose and things of that nature. I think that we tend to get caught up in this love aspect that we forget about duty to one another, respect to one another, right? And I think that's more important because you're not always going to love your person each and every day. Some days you're not gonna tolerate them, and some days you're gonna question why you even with them or why you even married them. So yeah, definitely. I think respect over love. I think love is a byproduct of respect. Are you?
All right, we'll go to Trev and then Hank.
For real, I think in most cases, women don't really truly love men, right? Because, in all honesty, it's conditional, right? True love, in my opinion, is not conditional. And women love you based on not who you are all the time, but basically what it is that you can do for them and what you can provide for them. Because when you can no longer please them the way that you could initially, they will quickly lose that love for you, right? You can't sex them the way they used to, that love is lost. You can't provide for them the way that you used to, that love is lost. So, like Lewis was saying, we get married now, and a lot of times people forget about the duty, right? And it's rough because men, in my opinion, men love a lot harder, man, because that's just how I feel. Men love harder, but women, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. There are some cases where women do love men. I'll say that for sure, but I don't think that it's the majority at all. I think it's men that love a lot harder than women. And is it necessary? Maybe not, because as a man, if you're a woman that understands her duty, that and you know what it is that you need to do to keep your family together, what services you need to provide, right? Then it's not as important if you actually love the man. As long as you do everything that's expected of you, love is not that necessary if you really do everything that you're supposed to do. But of course, it's a lot easier for a woman to do those things if she loves you, right? But in many cases, that's not it.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick. You know, to that point that you said, you know, men tend to love harder than women. And I know that some women will find that to be a fallacy. But the women who tend to say that they love men harder, they typically end up loving that man for all the wrong reasons. If you ask them specifically, what is it about them? Oh, you know, it's always very ambiguous, very gray. There's nothing concrete that they could really tie to it, right? You know, I'm attracted to his, you know, his level of firmness. I'm attracted to his leadership. I'm attracted to his ability to be stoic. I'm attracted to all these other inherent qualities that
his eggplant.
Yeah. It's never rooted in something that allows the relationship to be grounded. When somebody's competing to say that, no, I love harder, it's typically surrounded in things that are not really beneficial for the relationship in the long term.
All right. Go ahead, Hank. Then we'll go to B Madden.
Yeah. It would be nice for my lady to love me or my wife to love me, but I'd rather have her respect me more so than anything. So, with that being said, the woman need to love her man. As long as you respect him, I believe most men can accept that more. I really do. Because, you know, like I said, love is fading. I mean, one minute you love me, one minute you don't love me, but you still got the respect that you need to have for me, I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna always be perfect. I'm gonna make some mistakes. I'm gonna do some shit wrong. I'm not gonna do shit right. I'm gonna fail at times. You know, are you gonna love me then when I'm failing? Are you gonna just stay out of hell with him? No, I hope you wouldn't. But I know you still gonna respect me because you know I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna turn it around. I'm gonna fix whatever I need to fix. I'm gonna make the proper corrections, and I'm gonna do some things differently than I did before. So yeah, give me the respect over the love.
All right, B Madden.
Okay. A woman doesn't need to love her man. She needs love herself. I think what it is that the two pieces of love and respect, it goes in a yin and yang kind of circle. It's that men need to be respected because to us, that is our love language. Love equals respect to most men. Excuse me, respect equals love to most men. Like if you respect me if my woman respects me, to us, that is our version of love. It's being received. But a woman needs to feel loved herself in order to be in that relationship, to stay in it. She has to feel the love. She has to feel that, oh, he's being romantic. Oh, he's doing all the things that makes me feel like I'm important and this is where I need to be. I'm being romanticized, all that stuff. A woman needs to be loved, but men need to be respected in order for it to work. Does love grow eventually? Yeah, sure. I'm sure it does. But the respect for men is absolute. Because if you don't respect a man, you're not going to be able to be with him. Because kind of going to what Trev was saying, that women are looking at the entire situation because our value is different to them as their value is to us at the end of the day. And we're not treated the same. Honestly, I just lost my thought, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm gonna land it there. At the end of the day, women don't need to love us. They just need to respect us. And they need love as well. So I'm gonna land it there. When it comes back, I'm gonna jump back on, but I lost it.
Okay, brother, take your time.
Can I hop in?
I don't know who to go. Sweetie over here rolling and Cloud. I don't know if y'all beefing in the chat or
No.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Cloud.
I kind of agree with what B Madden is saying. But I do feel like it has a lot to do with the position that we play. So I feel like in the video the guy talked about biblically, right? So essentially, men have to love because we're in a position of leadership. And if you're leading without love, you can easily become a tyrant. You can easily become abusive. So I feel like I think biblically that's why it's commanded that men love their wives, because they have to be in a leadership position. So you have to temper it with love. I think to be led now, you can't be led by something you don't respect from the female perspective. So I think women need to feel. The only part I disagree with what B Madden said is more than they need to feel loved. I think women need to feel like they can respect you, because and I think that's clear in examples where like a girl will have a dude in a friend zone that's loving on her ridiculously, but if she don't respect him, that love means nothing to her. Like it doesn't matter how much he loves her, how much he cares about her. She needs to be able to respect you, because by respecting you, she can say, okay, no matter how I feel about this man in this moment, I know I can trust the decisions he's making, or I know I can trust how he's going to move. I can rely on him to be like a rock in this situation. So I really feel like that's where it comes from. I think it's the positioning that we're in. As leaders, we have to love, or else we're not going to lead properly. and in women being led, they have to be able to respect their leader.
All right. Says, good to see Marcus Jordan and Fresh C on the panel.
Okay. All right. So I guess I can jump in and answer the question.
Go for it, Sweeney.
All right. So this is going to come off a little wonky, but I hope y'all follow me on this. A man needs his woman to respect him in a relationship, but a woman needs to love her man. I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. Men, we desire the respect in a relationship, but when women need to love their men, because once they don't love them no more, what do they tend to do? They tend to leave. So what a woman, her feelings is she needs to love him in order for her to stay, but he needs her to respect him in order for him to, you know what I mean? In order for him to, I told you it's gonna come off a little wonky.
Well, you right about that. It's all the way wonky, bro.
What are you talking about?
All the way.
So are you
so what about the respect? What about the respect factor though? You're saying that she has to love him in order for that to happen, but she's gonna leave if she doesn't respect him. Love is a fleeting emotion that comes and goes. She'll love you today, she might hate you tomorrow. You know, that's part of being married and all that kind of stuff, being with someone over time for a long period of time. But the respect can never falter. If the respect is faltering, that means the foundation is cracked. That's when you worry about losing her. You lose her when she doesn't respect you as a man, as a provider, as a lover, all the things. If she can't respect you in those aspects, as a leader, as a provider, as the head of your household, then love was out the door long before.
No, and that's I guess that's what I'm saying, is that I'm looking at it from both perspectives. I'm looking at it from the perspective of what a man needs in this relationship versus what versus what, like I said, it's kind of hard for me to explain. And I'm just gonna say it again, and maybe it'll trigger exactly what I'm trying to say. A man needs
Sweeney, would you agree that a woman can't possibly love you if she doesn't respect you?
I don't think a woman can respect you if she doesn't love you.
No.
As far as romantic relationships, because women respect different people.
She has to respect you first before she can ever fall in love with you. That respect always comes first before any romantic stuff comes after.
No woman is sleeping with a man that she does not respect. You might.
Not that she don't respect, that she don't like, maybe. If she don't respect.
Well, are we drawing the line as like or respect?
Respect. Like I said, this is my perspective in regards to, romantic relationships.
You was on to something, Luis, but you gotta.
But as far as because we see women, there's a lot of women that respect a lot of different guys, and they respect their boss, they respect the guy that comes by and cut her grass every morning. You know what I mean? She gives him his money, she sends him on his way, and she say thank you for your service. But as far as romantic relationships, I think respect. I think most women love first, and then respect comes right behind it. That's just my personal opinion. I'm gonna be real with you. I've been out the game long enough, bro. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's. Thank you for admitting that.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what
on that one. The young kings out there is really confused right now.
She can't possibly love you. She will never fall in love with you if she doesn't respect you. There's a zero chance, bro. I promise you. She has to respect you first. If she don't respect you as a man and respect what you stand for, respect you who you are, no, it's out. She can't possibly fall in love with you. There's no way.
She'll see you as a clown, bro.
She'll
see you as a clown. She can't respect that.
Women don't even exchange numbers with guys they don't respect. Like if they're having a conversation with you and you say something that they lose respect for,
it's corny as hell. Mm-hmm. OG, triple OG, what you got? Shan. Go and set it straight.
Triple OG.
He is the elder on the show. I don't know why he actually didn't know who he's talking to.
He a triple OG.
I don't know who the OG is.
Hold on, wait. Before Shannon go, I do
you.
want to reveal what I laughed
Grand
about.
elder.
Before Shannon go, I do want to reveal what I laughed about. So somebody asked in the chat, they said, fellas, so if she tells you she respects you, but she loves another man, then what?
Impossible.
That's
impossible.
That means
That's
she lied to you, man.
That's possible.
She lied
That's
to you.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit cracked me the hell up.
I've been in that situation before. I was still able to tap. So what's the problem?
You know, what song is playing in my head right now.
That actually does happen.
I got Tina Turner playing in my head right now.
Oh shit!
What's love?
What's love got to do? Got to do with it.
Do with it.
What's love but a secondhand emotion? A secondhand. She said. Tina Turner said, "Love is a secondhand emotion." Listen, guys, ladies and gentlemen, people of the community, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Your Honor, what is love? What is love? I've had women love me before, and it didn't. I don't need. If that's what it is, I don't need that no more. And I'm talking in love. I'm talking just love. And we all know it's love is fleeting, but you know, respect is fleeting too. Honor, everything is fleeting. People say love is fleeting. All of it can be fleeting if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Love is different for a man than it is for a woman. For 30 years, I've been saying this definition of love. Love is when the welfare, the safety, and the personal well-being of someone else becomes more important than your own. I've been saying that since I was a young soldier in the military, 1991. When the personal well-being, the welfare, the safety of somebody else becomes more important than your own. And I believe currently that is how men love women. Hence the reason why a man would die for a woman. Hence the reason why men get up and go to work for their family. Hence the reason why when some calamity happens or some danger happens, he steps in front and pushes the kids behind him to find out what's going on. When that noise goes out at night and it's like, what the fuck was that? He gets up. Everybody else stays in the room, stays in the bed, but he gets up to go check the perimeter. See what was that? He don't know that he might get a club across his head because he wants the welfare, safety, and well-being of others to be solid before his own. I believe that is men's love. As everybody on the panel said, women's love is different than men's. The question is, do women doesn't need to love her man? Well, check this out. We talked about respect. I got the 4: respect, honor, cooperation, and loyalty. That's what I now require from a woman. I wish I would have been taught that 30 years ago. I wish I would have been taught that 2 marriages ago. Respect, honor, cooperation, and loyalty. But what I'm hearing on the panel is that you guys are exchanging that for love. That is love. See, once a woman respects you, ain't no talking back, ain't no bullshitting, ain't no making you look stupid to others. If somebody's talking about you and you're not around, she defends your name when you ain't even there. Can't nobody talk about her man to her without her snapping at them like, don't talk about my man like that. Who the fuck you think you are? When she protects your last name when you're not around, when she honors you like that, and when she's cooperative, you want her to do something that she may not necessarily want to do, but she does it anyway because she trusts your judgment. You ask her to go do something, and she don't want to do it. She just is not, she's tired. She's not in the mood. Maybe she dealt with the children. Maybe she just cooked. Maybe she just, but she does it anyway. She's cooperative. Maybe you ask her to step up with in something in your small business, as we talked about earlier. She doesn't want to really want to do that part, but she does it because you asked her to. She's cooperative and she's loyal. You say you got a baddie, you dating a 8, 9, or damn near 10. And she got all the wolves on her, man. She got dudes that look better than you, that got more money than you, that got a better car than you, that got a bigger house than you. And she got blinders on just for you. She's ignoring the motherfuckers. This dude is clearly twice as rich as you. He got a 6-pack while you got a belly. He got a full head of hair while you bald head. He got a better car. He got everything. But she ain't checking for him. Even when you're not around, she's loyal to you. When a woman respects, honors, cooperates with you, and she is loyal to you, that is her love. So a woman doesn't need to love her man. Well, to me, if she knocks out those 4 things, she is loving me. Because her love is different. I do not expect a woman to die for me. I just don't. If some shit happens in the street, if we in Hollywood and some crazy dude comes up or whatever, I'll take the bullet. I'll take the knife. I'll die for my girl. Me. That's what I'll do. I'll die for my country. I'll die for y'all. I'll die for other people's safety. That's just me. It's just kind of where I'm built. I do not want my woman to die for me. I do not want my children to die for me. I'll do that for them, but that's because I love them the way I love them. But I do expect my woman to cooperate and to respect me and to be loyal to me and to honor my name. And if she can do those 4 things, I think she does love me. So a woman doesn't need to love her man. She needs to respect me. She needs to do the 4 things I said. And if she does those 4 things, then I think she does love me in the way a woman would love a man. So that's what I have to say about that.
I'm quite surprised that you quoted Whitney Houston's lyrics. My bad, not Whitney Houston. Tina Turner's lyrics.
Tina Turner.
Considering the fact that the reason why that song came about, that was a woman in pain and scorn. She was saying, what love got to do with it? Because who needs a heart if a heart can be broken? She was broken when she made that shit.
Now it's the biggest hit.
Did that come after Ike?
That came after Ike. That came after Ike.
Yeah.
She was saying, what the hell is love? Because she said, she was like, if this is love, I don't want that shit. Oh shit.
Well, it sound.
Speak on it.
You said what again, JR?
Did you have a chance to speak on it?
Yeah, I talked on it. Yes, sir.
Are you too, Cloud? Is everybody?
Yeah, he went first.
Yeah, and I spoke on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead, B-Man.
No, I was just gonna say that. No, I agree with things Shannon said, obviously, but I mean, it just shows that we have to remember a woman's love is conditional, and those are the conditions that love comes in. Like you said, respect, honor, cooperation, and loyalty equals love for a woman. If you're providing all the things that she's looking for, the space, the home, the security, the money, the job, like all those things that she's looking for, if you can provide all of that, then she will come to this cooperative person for you. And then she'll be loyal to you, around other men and all that kind of stuff, because her situation is ideal for her. So that love starts to come in at that point. But she already respects you already, because she wouldn't be in the situation with you if she didn't. Doesn't make sense for her to be with somebody and to be loyal to somebody who's not. She doesn't respect. It's a waste of time, energy. It's counterintuitive to her nature. But as men, we need that respect from her. And again, if she's doing those things, that equals love to us too. And we can go on and move forward and do what we need to do as a unit. we can work with that, because we need the cooperation more so than anything. We need the loyalty more so than anything. We don't need, all the lovey-dovey, all the crazy. We don't need that in order to go out there and fight for our families, build our families, protect our families. We don't need that. It'll be nice. It's nice to get it sometimes, but we don't have to have it. But they do need our love, though. They need us to love and adore them in order for them to feel like you have that romantic hue over everything, for them to want to stay engaged and continue to do what they're doing with you.
Just drop the line. Any ladies want to call in and ask any questions to the panel or chime in? Just got to drop it right now.
I thought one on would have called in by now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I got nothing. It's a lot of dead air going on around here, fellas.
Man, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why you think entrepreneurs are the devil's work.
I never said that. I can't say that something's devil's work that I actively participate in.
So you're doing the devil's work.
If that's what you want to call it. But I didn't call it that.
Oh man, it's all good, big brother.
Hey, we all know Sweeney lives in an alternate universe. He lives in an alternate reality. He lives in one of the multiverses. I live in the
real world. I deal with
where everybody's the same. Everybody's even. Everything is equal. Everything is just, hunky dory and all that. We all make it. You make the barber makes the same money as the doctor, as the engineer, as the podcaster, as the truck driver. Everything is
kind of socialist.
Same.
I think Eric, you there?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. My job is important.
I'm here.
Okay. What's going on, Erica? She was in the chat. Welcome to the show. What you got for us?
Happy Tuesday, gentlemen. Yes, I'm Erica and in the chat.
What's going on, Erica? How you living?
Good evening.
Hi. I said hi to all of you on the chat. So happy to hear from you guys. I was happy to cam up, but there's a conflict of interest happening in my background right now. I'm not going to say what.
Really? Whoa.
Yes, really. My question for the gentleman, since all of you agree that respect equals love from the male perspective, how do you guys view what we consider love? Because when you speak to 5 women, we'll give you 5 different definitions of love. But what do you think that we think love is? How do you guys perceive what we define love as?
That's why I made that initial statement.
That's
exactly the reason why. That's why I made that initial statement.
Go ahead.
I think Shannon broke it down pretty good.
To me, I think it's dependent on your person. So, like you said, each individual gonna have it 5 different ways. So, but it depends on your person. If she says, she needs to verbally hear that from you, then you, as a man, I got to make sure I verbally express that. Or if I need to say it in a physical manner, whereas me, giving her friendly touches or, touching her in a special way, making her feel good by giving her hugs and kisses, then so be it. So I just think it depends on the individual.
Okay.
I would sum it up as I would sum it up as fulfilling her needs, right? And like Hank was saying, whether that is affection, right? That's pretty much what it's going to be. You fulfilling her needs. If she feels fulfilled by you, then she's going to get the idea that you love her, right? For some women, that's attention. For some women, that's affection. For some women, that is money, right? Resources. That's some women, especially today. And, women like to say they have different, love languages. And that's just what it is. Her love language might be affection. Her love language might be you verbalizing it to her. It's so many different things. But if she feels fulfilled, then she's going to get the idea that you love her, in my opinion.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I just have one more quick question. So given the state of like modern women in relationships now, do you think that as women we're lost in terms of the women who are looking for the materialistic, you know, the money and all the other different things that they're looking for, since that's not really love?
I'm confused by the question. What exactly is the question? Are women lost? Is that the question?
Today, based on how you guys are defining love, do you think that today's women are lost? Since we're not, since the stereotype is today's woman is not really looking for the kind of love that you guys are talking about. You know, unfortunately, modern women seem to be looking for money, clout, resources, but not actual love.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a bastardized version of what the industry and what social media is telling us what love is. It's that definition. It's not an actual real thing. It's a fictitious thing of trying to keep up with the Joneses and like, oh, you know, I saw Lapeef and his girl on the yacht, so we got to get on the yacht too. You know, like, oh, I see, you know, so and so proposed to his woman, you know, in on a private island and this and that. You know, we need to do that over the cliff of a mountain or whatever. We need to do that. It's always, you know, the infomercial of someone else doing better than you and or other people trying to outdo the other person. Who can be the most over the top? You know, who can be the most toxic or crazy? You know, you're talking about, you know, D-boy culture. You're talking about ball player culture. You're talking about entertainment culture. You know, you're talking about scammer culture. You know, things that aren't realistic for the majority of people. You're talking about things either for a particular select 1% or for people that are, you know, blowing money that is fast money that doesn't last, you know, a long time. It makes a cute picture, but that shit don't last. They'll break up by the end of next year, or it's not going to last past the summer or whatever, you know. So a lot of it is an infomercial, and it's whatever the music's telling them or whatever, you know, YouTube is telling them. And the thing is, you know, social media is engineered to market towards women. I mean, to how quickly the algorithms change and move, and when you're swiping through, that's for a woman's mind anyway, just to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. It's made to bend your mind in whatever way that you continuously like and how your algorithm goes. Because you notice when you go on your Explorer page, it's mostly the things that you tap on, you like, and you comment on is what pops up all the time. So people that are into certain things see the same thing all day and every day.
I think
and
we
they think
ruined it
that's the
as
rest of the
society.
world.
Go ahead.
So sorry, no, go ahead. And they think that's the rest of the world.
I also think we ruined it as society
Yeah.
way back when, just with like the commercialization of love, right? When the hell did we decide that romance was a requirement, right? Like, I understand it's cool, and I try to be romantic when I could be, but before, like Lewis was saying earlier, man, the duty. People loved you because you would protect and provide. Why did we allow this whole romance thing to become a requirement? Why? So these people could make money off of us?
I'll
When
tell
they
you, I
started
think
saying,
it goes back to be mad and strange about media and like television, movies, you know, women, we consume romantic comedies all day and, you know, all of
yeah,
that. And a lot of times where we're seeing, I'm just being honest, a lot of times we see those things like, oh, I want my relationship to look like that. But
yep.
it's not real. It's clips of the best days put together in a movie to entertain you. But the real stuff is the struggle and the arguing and the working through it and the loving the person even when they get on your nerves. And that's the stuff that's real. That's the stuff that sticks. That's what keeps people together, you know? But you're not going to see that. Even on social media. I personally am not on social media like that. But I know that a lot of my friends get really upset. Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I'm telling you. But a lot of my friends will get upset because they'll see what somebody else is doing and argue with their man for the rest of the day because of what someone else is doing, or somebody else bought somebody this or did something, not, you know, whatever it is. So I think people are living based on comparison instead of living what's in their lane. You know, the grass is greener. That's what everybody thinks. The grass is greener where you water it. If you water your own grass, your grass is amazing.
Hey, Eric, I got a couple questions for you real quick. Because I know JR got somebody else that he need to bring up. I got a couple questions for you. First question. If you love a man but you don't respect him, will you leave him?
Oh God, I have to respect you. Yeah, I grew up with my dad, so respect is big. It was in my household, and I'm Haitian, so respect is like the first.
I got to follow up, Erica. I got to follow up.
Thank you. I
got to follow up. If you respect a man but don't love him, will you leave him?
That's harder. If I respect you, I'm hoping that there are qualities that you have that I can find a way to build that emotional bond.
I say if you respect him but you don't love him.
If I don't love him and it doesn't grow, then I don't think I could. I don't know if I could be with him. I can be with you as a partner, but there's going to be things that are lacking, you know?
Sweeney, that's disingenuous. That's a disingenuous.
You can respect him, but not be in love with the person. She can love you, but not be in love with you.
Yeah. That's a disingenuous question for sure. It's almost like a setup. Like,
no,
that was a setup, bro. That was a setup.
The reason why I asked that question.
Flag on the plane.
Hold on, wait. The reason why I asked that question is because we're assuming that women do not think like that. They could respect a man, but if they do not love him, they have the capacity to leave. That's why she said even when she thought I was saying something else, she said, "Ooh, that's tough." Because that's how they think.
So Sweeney, you gotta get there though. With a woman, like if you're dating somebody, you're like, okay, I'm respecting this. I respect this dude. I respect his hustle, what he's got going on. I like his situation, but you got to get to know the dude to love the dude. You got to exchange like romantic gestures and get to that point. Like love just doesn't just come just because you respect somebody. Like you got to get there.
Without respect,
like
you don't get there
it's
at
almost
all.
like you're going backwards. It's like you're backpedaling. Like, oh well, if they don't respect you, if they respect you, but they don't love you, would they stay? It's like, well, wait a minute. She had to love you from the beginning. It had to be qualities and attributes about you that she had to love first in order to get in that position with you. If she didn't have that, you wouldn't be in that position.
I'm in agreement with that, but you can also lose love as well. Just like you can gain love for someone, you can also lose it. And a woman can still have respect for you, but lose love for you. You know what I mean? I've seen plenty of women that say they respect their ex-husbands, they respect them, they appreciate the work that they do for the kids and everything else, and they won't say a bad thing about them. But guess what? In front of his name is still ex-husband.
But they won't say nothing bad about him, and that's what matters. Because there's plenty of guys that women love that they'll say all type of bad things about, but the respect is what will stand the test of time.
Point being, women are
baby father or something like that, right? The baby father that has the respect of his baby mother is gonna have a smooth relationship raising those kids. The baby father who doesn't have her respect but has her love is gonna have a traumatic relationship. So, you know.
All right.
That was a good question, though, Sweeney. I'll get off. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Erica. Great questions.
Thank you.
All right, Nicole. I think Nick, if you want to call in, you can. I'm trying to figure out who looked like Jordan, Marcus Jordan on here in the chat. Who was that?
Lapeef.
B man.
Lapeef.
Oh yeah, that's B man.
No, that's Lapeef.
Look like Marcus Jordan.
Somebody in the chat said we got Marcus Jordan and our fresh CEO on the panel.
Who's fresh? You take too many L's tonight. You was even wrong on that.
Was he talking about me?
No, he's talking about JR.
Oh hell, shit!
How about this? All right, Nick, go ahead and call back in. Nicola, call. Go ahead and call back in.
Try again, Nick. Try again.
Yeah, the line is open. We'll take one more. Or Angela, if you want to call in, whichever one y'all call in first. No, somebody left voicemail. Waiting on you to call in. Come on, call in. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, shout out to the sponsor, T. Shanley. Here we go. All right, welcome to King Talk. Who we got? Hello?
Oh, hey, how you doing? It's Nicola.
Hey, how you doing, Nicola? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing okay. Hey, how you doing? You know it's late, but I got a little, only social media I have is on my little YouTube page. So if y'all want to see me, that's where I am. But you want me to tell you what I think love is, but I just don't let them women eat me up, because a lot of women don't like what I have to say due to the fact they live a whole different life than me.
What you got,
You want to
Nicole?
know?
Go for it.
Oh, okay. See, huh?
Can you hear us?
In my eyes, can I hear what?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I only hear one person. It sounds like it's just you and I on the phone. Hi, everybody.
We
I know that's right. I know that's right.
We are here.
Okay, I'll tell y'all, because you know it's late. But just don't chew me up, because I swear, you check my little YouTube page. It's not a lot of things on there, but on my little YouTube, you see me and my mama. We real friendly. We just don't do the harassment. But in my eyes, I was married 17 years. My ex-husband is a pilot in the Air Force, and he flies for United Airlines. Right now, he's at the Air National Guard base in Battle Creek, Michigan, and he's getting ready to be the major over there. But we was married 17 years, and in my eyes, the woman is the neck and the man is the head. You got to respect your husband. If it's your choice of what kind of man you pick, that's your fault. But you all apples look red and sweet and everything, and you bite into them. That's on you can hold that grudge to the next man. Why not just love your man, get spoiled by your man, and go with the flow? And if your man want to look at other women, turn him on more. If he want to be in the streets, he said, baby, dress up just like a little slut hoe. If you that man's wife, why not just go with what your husband wants? I don't understand it, and I don't want y'all women, please don't get mad at me. If you really want a man and you love him, you got to just follow his lead. It's not saying a poopy man. I never experienced that now. And I don't have bodies on me because I had kids by my ex-husband. You didn't do all that stuff. And the only reason we got divorced, I stayed with my ex-husband. I believe in marriage, but we got divorced because he was flying over to Spain, Romania, Pakistan, and then meeting women. You know, he had a few kids on me. But to this day, I bypassed that so we could get along. Plus, he good benefits. I can get on airplanes with United Airlines. So I want to be friends with my ex-husband, but we're not together. But I'm just saying, if the ladies, if y'all don't get mad at me, if you really want a man, you would be all for the man and let him lead and just sit down. And if he wants you to work, I was a housewife and then now I'm a nurse. But if he wants you to work, he'll tell you. But if you got it so good, why not obey? Why not just go with the flow? I don't get it no more. I'm single right now, but I'm just saying, when I was married, my ex-husband did everything in the book for me to act up and do this and do that, but I didn't. I still stayed and said, baby, I love you, what you want. But when them kids started adding up, that's when I left, because I didn't find out until my kids asked me, where's dad at? I said, oh, he's flying, he's on the plane. No, he just delivered a baby, Mom, look. And so I said, oh, Lord. And when my kids got involved to where they was hurt, that's when I pulled out of my marriage. But right now, we are friends and we get along because life is too short. I hope y'all not mad at me if I said something wrong. That's all.
We ain't mad at you.
No, we ain't mad at you at all.
You just spoke your truth. That's all you did. You spoke your truth.
It's your story.
God damn it, you can't make this shit up.
I just got a lot of love. You know, I just respect marriage and I respect a long-term relationship. I've seen whores come in and out my house but I still treated them with love because that's just the way I am. I don't been there, done that with so many different types of women, and the military life. Like if that guy Logic, we would connect because we have a lot in common with this military stuff because I know it from the top of my head. But women need to just sit down and be women, and your man is gonna spoil you. Just do right by him, love him. That's all he needs, in my eyes.
Nicola, how long have you been divorced? How long have you been divorced from your ex?
I've been divorced this morning. It'll be 6 years, July 1st.
You've been divorced 6 years, but you were together for 17, correct?
Yep, it'll be And then he got remarried during the time we were going through our divorce to some lady in Spain. And the crazy thing is, she was sweet. She just didn't know English, and she didn't know that he had wife and different kids. But now they're divorced due to the fact she got her green card, and then she had a baby a year later, and so now she's working at the casino in Battle Creek, Michigan. There, and he's trying
all the tea.
Hey, but look here. Hey, what's the name? Nicole? B-Man is looking for a good woman.
You putting in this bid
right
right
fill
now.
out the application.
My ex-husband's not a bad man. I would never bash him. He's actually a good man. He just flirts a lot, and he gets a little. This little thing get a little hard. He likes to be the entertainment. It's not his fault. It's just how he is.
I know I wasn't the only one here.
I can't control him. I can't control what a man do. But I can tell my actions to persuade him to love. So
okay,
we appreciate you. We appreciate you telling your story,
I'm
Nicole.
sorry. That's just how I am.
Hey, you just kept it real.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay, well, bye, panels. I'll see you. Well, I'll probably won't see you, but have a good night. I'm in Detroit, Michigan. I'm in Novi, Michigan.
No, it had to be Detroit.
It's like 30 minutes from Detroit.
Hey, look here. B-Man said he's ready to go to Motown with you.
I knew it had to be Detroit.
I can't hear what y'all saying, but I don't even know if I'm still on the panel.
Hey, JR, I think we need to mute Hink over here when he going to mute him real fast. He's having some issues with his microphone. Hink is having some issues with his microphone, y'all. He needs to get muted.
Yeah. You ready to go to Detroit?
It was
wrong for that. You wrong for that.
It was one more call.
The casino. I would love
wrong for that.
I don't know if that was you, Andrew. Go ahead and call back in. I don't know.
Well, I should have said what up though.
Jay, I was gonna say we can't end the show on a call like that, brother. We got to get a better call than that last.
Hey, Trev.
Hold on. Somebody on there. Hey, welcome to King Talk. Who's on the line?
Hello.
Yes. Who is this?
Angela.
What's going on, Angela? How you doing? Welcome.
Nothing much. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Angela. We appreciate you.
Okay, I got a couple of questions. I'll make it quick because I got to go to work in the morning. And the show has been very entertaining thus far, and I appreciate everybody's input, Mr. Shannon Rollins also. So, if I may continue, my first question, and Miss Erica representing for the ladies also, my first question is, I am 40 years old, and can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We're listening.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm 40 years old. I'm a single mom, and I don't date or anything like that, and I do have a son, of course. And my ex-husband, it's not his child, but he chose to take care of him thus far also. But he's kind of like in and out of his life. I need some advice because there's no men at church, which I do attend on a daily basis. The only good insight I get from my family is every once in a while when we have, events and stuff like that, the men that are around, and they're not doing too much, not trying to, put my family business out there. They're not doing too much that I can, take him to one of the family members and say, hey, can you help me out with my son? But anyway, they got their thing going too. I would like to know what I can do as a 40-year-old single mom to get me not a man in my life, but to at least draw a decent guy into my life, me and my son's life, and move forward. That's my first question.
Well, we got a guy up here on the panel, B. We're looking to do that for you, man. His name is B Mad. You make sure you hit his IG.
Hey, man, what is wrong with your microphone, bro? What is wrong with your microphone? Lapeef, what did I say?
Wait.
It's
Let's help her. Let's help her.
Yeah,
All right.
seriously.
So first off, where are you sourcing these men? Let's get to the bottom of that. Where are you sourcing your men?
Okay, I'm not.
Where do you?
Okay, I'm from Virginia, and Virginia's for lovers, but we love a different kind of love. Anyway, I don't look for a man, but the guys that are attracted to me, I guess, they want to kind of keep me hidden. I get it. I'm not going to judge myself off of the 1 to 10. I know I'm not high up there, whatnot in looks and finances also. But I do try my best, and I work every day. And I'm a working mom to provide for the household, make up for what. Mm-hmm.
I got to stop you
son?
there.
I'm sorry.
Real quick, I got to stop you there. That's the first mistake. We're not trying to say that you need to be aggressive, but you need to get in men that you are interested. You need to get in his way. You have to get in his way. The women who you see pop up with these dudes, you be like, damn, how'd she nab him? She got in somebody's way. You have to be in proximity to where these men that you desire are. And you have to make an effort. You have to have intent if you want to nab a good man, because other women are, and they're your competitors. It is what it is. If you are not willing to do it, if it's important to you, right? Just like if you go into work, you want a job. You're not going to just say, all right, it's going to land on me or I'm going to find it. You prepare yourself. You'll do the schooling that you need to do, right? You'll make sure you go ahead to pursue the career. You do everything. All your prerequisites will be in order. You have to take the man just as serious, because the women who out here winning, that's what they doing. So that's the first thing. You start right there. Get in men's way who you desire. But you go ahead.
Now, what are you looking for? A mentor for your son? Or are you looking for a man?
Well, I'm not looking
like she want both.
I believe of course, of course, if he comes in my life, but I have to consider my son too, whatnot. If he's in my life, that's fine. It's men that I gravitate, like I said, they want to keep me hidden. So if they want to see me hidden, that means they don't want to meet my son. So there's no future with anybody. So all right. I don't know what that's all about.
To me, your son's should be the main priority right now. To me, how old is he?
14.
You said what?
Yeah. Is he in any
14?
activity? 14. Is he in any
coach
activities?
or something around? Yeah.
Is he in any activities?
Not currently, but I try to get him, to go, play basketball. He likes basketball, and he's not into football, but basketball. He stays on his VR. He has friends on VR and stuff like that. He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, doesn't do any of that. And he has yet to tell me about a female friend. We're not going the other direction. I already know that's not, But that's why I want a male figure that's consistent. Because my ex-husband, he just pops in and out and just take care of him, financially, give him, expensive, items, and then think he's just going to make up for that. That's his way of saying, okay, well, I didn't really leave your life. Your mom left me, which I did, for some other stuff, that happened back in 2015. But anyway, as far as I let him still stay in his life, because I didn't want to cut that off, but he's just in and out, just, costing him money and coming to get him for a haircut, stuff like that. But he's not here for the hard stuff.
But wait, that's not his biological father, right? That's not his biological father, right?
No.
Is he still around?
You said what now?
Is he still around, the biological father?
Oh no, he's in another state. He knows he has a child though. He hasn't pursued it as of yet. And I didn't pursue it. But you know, of course, as he's getting older, I told him the whole situation. My ex-husband knows all about the whole situation since day one, and that's why I said I thought he was a good man, and we went ahead and married him because I thought if he knew the child wasn't his, because at the time he was cheating too. That's why he accepted it so quickly. So I guess that was his wake-up call too, and said, "Hey, we need to both straighten up here." So anyway,
So
he chose to go forward with me as I did with him.
well, let me ask you this: what type of relationship do you have with the barber? Your son's barber. Does he have a good relationship with his barber?
No, he doesn't call. He hasn't contacted me. I tried to reach out to him.
ma'am.
Free.
The barber.
He talking about Sweeney. He's talking about Sweeney.
Man, that cut his hair.
No, what I'm saying is sometimes when you go in the barber shop, sometimes you Sweeney knows this. They're counselors. They have conversation with you. They talk to you, and they may ask him questions, and he may feel comfortable enough maybe to ask the barber that cuts his hair some questions, and maybe y'all can maybe inquire about talking to him. You know, maybe have him work at the barber shop, sweeping up and cleaning up around the barber shop, and while he's in there, he's going to be amongst men. I know that was one of the benefits for me. My uncle was a barber, and my uncle allowed me to come in his barber shop and sweep up. But in the midst of doing that, I had other men pouring into me along with my uncle. So maybe if I don't know what the relationship you have with his barber, maybe that could be a possibility.
I got some questions. I got some questions.
I mean, I consider, you know, all of that.
I got questions. All right.
Yeah.
So you said that you said you all right in a looks scale. You got a man that come by and the guy that come by and take out your trash, like you roll your trash to the end of the driveway and he come by, pick it up, throw it on the back of the truck. You got one of those?
No.
Ain't nobody come to pick up the trash? You ain't got no trash man?
You know the actual trash thing.
Yeah, the actual trash man.
Okay, yeah.
Hard working man, ain't he?
Yeah.
Go out there, give him a plate.
Okay.
Yeah. She be
Yeah.
better off trying to hit. She be better off trying to hit on the ball. That man might be in a rush. He got routes to run, sweetie.
This what I want to ask you though. Are there any type of men? Are there any type of men that give you attention right now, Annie, at all?
Yeah, they do, but they're you know, obviously I'm not going that route. And they want to come back to the house, but they want me to, yeah.
So are you saying that they don't take you seriously?
Basically, just trying to fight.
Yeah, they're not taking you seriously. So, yeah, they're not.
Go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, that's bad. So, what type of man are you looking for? That's the whole thing. You, what are your requirements? What is it that you're looking for?
I think they obviously, 3 of them have said that they have had their eyes on me, and of course, I ain't gonna lie, I did give one a chance, but he was like a crocodile or alligator, if you ask me, and I just won't gonna go that route no more. And this is after I had divorced my ex-husband, but you know,
can you define
because he didn't want me married.
Can you define a crocodile?
Oh hell,
Oh yeah. Okay, so a crocodile, when you're dating or when you begin to date as a female or a male, a crocodile is a man or woman who comes by, and as soon as you're ready to stick your toe in the water, I guess get out here in the dating pool, an alligator comes out instead of a boat, but to help you across, you know, the water. That's what I call them. I call them alligators and crocodiles. And
all right.
You know,
yeah, Trev, ask that question.
You had 3. So you had 3 opportunities. Go ahead, bro. Cloud, you got it.
My bad. I don't mean that. But all right, you were married and you said you divorced your ex-husband. So why did you divorce your ex-husband? Yeah. Why are you not with him? If he still comes around and he's helping you raise a son that's not his son, whether it be just financially or whatever, then it seems like he's clearly a committed guy on some level. So why aren't you still with him?
Because he had another child in the midst of us working it out. Because honestly, the church got involved, and I did. I have to take accountability for that. My pastor was saying he wasn't right. And come to find out, honestly, what she was telling me, God was already telling me. And it's, instead of working it out with him, I chose to put my business in the church, and I will never do that again. Lesson learned. But he blames the pastor for, not the bishop, but the pastor for, having us separate. And then in the midst of the separation, I honestly thought God was going to bring us back together. I was going to church, and the whole time he was seeing other women dating. I wasn't dating anybody. He knows that. My child knows that. And the church knows that. But I was waiting for him to come back to the marriage, and he never did. And he ended up making a child out of, by another female.
Wait, so y'all was already broken up?
So considering that you're able to say that, okay, that where the problem went wrong is that you confided in the church with y'all business instead of fixing it with him. Is it not possible for then you to like let him know that, humble yourself and be like, hey, look, I was wrong. Can we work it out? Or are you waiting for him to try to work it out with you?
Well, he knows the church. That's why he blamed it, on my pastor.
Right,
but
right. What I mean is, you've already come to the conclusion that, like, we already agree. Like, you came to the conclusion that you shouldn't have went to the pastor. So, okay, you've accepted that. You understand that, right? So, what I'm saying is, like, since then, have you gone to your ex-husband and said, "Hey, I messed up by going to the pastor. Can we work it out?" Or are you expecting him? Oh, you're saying he's remarried? No, he didn't remarry. He had a child.
No, he had a child. He didn't marry her, but he has a fiance now.
Oh, okay. So then that ship doesn't. So my question is, what
you missed
stops
your window?
What stops you from saying, "Hey, like, I made a mistake. Let's get back together"?
I'm trying to work it out with him.
When you say trying to work it out, what do you mean? Like,
you mean like
what does trying to work it out look like?
Okay, every time I let him, because he has a son that's 18 now, and they're real close. They're closer than like glue. So, of course, I didn't want to break their relationship with the boys. So when he went with him, he would have other women, and then he would come back and tell me. And then he would tell him, stop telling, what was going on with him. And I was just like, that's understandable. But, I ain't going to lie. I was feeling some type of way. I was like, okay, we working it out. You still, in my bed, then going back and, that was too much.
Okay,
so I had to cut it off at some point.
Okay.
I didn't cut it off until last year.
So when you say y'all was working out, what you basically mean is y'all was still sleeping together.
Yeah, that's not working it out.
Yeah.
That's working it out, but not working.
Yeah,
it
is
out.
working it out.
Yeah.
That's a workout, but it wasn't working it out.
That's the Kanye workout.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
get that tummy right.
Look,
do
no,
your
seriously,
sit-ups like this.
No, seriously though.
I don't want to hold y'all no longer, but I just want to know what I can do with my 14-year-old. I guess I get the trash man a good meal prepared, and the barbershop. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of scared. There's a lot of alligators up in there too. Just getting their haircut.
Hey,
so most of the time it's like
you're gonna have to get out there.
But you're not going to the barbershop to look for a man, ma'am. You're looking for somebody who can mentor your son. See, right now, I think that's what you need to be focused on. Fuck finding a man. Right now, you need to focus on your son. That's the most important thing. That's the only thing that matters right now. Your relationship needs to be put on the back burner. Your son needs to be the priority. And so if you're looking for a mentor for your son, that's what you need to be looking for. I know you want some dick. Fuck it. Let it be. Keep using that road and move on. Focus on your son, ma'am. Focus on getting your son somebody to talk to him when he's going through that change, because he's going through puberty right now. He's going through some shit that you don't understand.
Yes,
he's getting a hard on in the middle of the day. He don't know how to answer and deal with it. And what are you going to tell him? I don't know. That's it. You don't know. But a man, I can tell you, hey, man, you might want to cover yourself, pull your shirt out, don't tuck your shirt in, and kind of go adjust yourself in a place you could adjust. But see, you wouldn't know that because you're not a man. So you need to find a mentor that can help your son out. The hell with that relationship right now. Focus on your son, man.
So is he not an athlete or anything like that? Is he not
he plays
like
football.
playing any sports?
He likes basketball.
She said basketball. You play. I think she said play
Don't do
basketball.
He likes basketball.
He needs to get involved. Yeah, he needs to be around other boys and other coaches. What's that, Jr.?
He likes that, and he likes basketball, but he's never been like on like any. Well, he was in the team when he was in fourth grade, yeah. But that was that.
That's
And
been a
I
long
guess
time.
as in the
So, I mean,
yeah.
based off of what Hank is saying, I think it is important for you to focus on your son because it sounds like he's just in the house. He has VR friends. He doesn't talk about girls. He hasn't been on the basketball team or did any activities as far as sports since the fourth grade.
Oh, he talks about girls, but just his brother, not me, which is fine. You know, I don't want to hear that.
Well,
but
it
he
sounds
talks
like
about
he may be missing out on a lot when it comes to like that man influence. And so I think when Hank was saying not go to the barbershop to look for a husband or a man, but just maybe if he does get his hair cut at the barbershop, maybe he can find somebody that can like mentor him, at least give him some game. He needs to be around men. I don't know if you have if you have an older brother, or you have somebody that's older in the family.
I have a lot.
Well, right. So I think you need to get him around like some positive role models,
uncles and all that.
Yeah,
right. Also,
cousins.
My question is that so you have a man there that's providing financially for him. Why isn't like why doesn't he have are you creating a space for that man to have a regular role in your son's life?
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, pay attention to how he comes around. And he said he was going to teach him about stocks and all of that. I love that idea, but he hasn't actually done it yet. He won't sit him down and say, this is the ins and outs. You can't tell him this, give him all this information, and then you just don't help him do it. You know? So it falls back on me, you know? So, I mean, like I said, I can't do so much.
Yeah, I think I just want to add two things. I think I agree with like what Lapeef was saying. That I think definitely you got to find some way, like some program or something to get your son involved in, so that he can have some type of father figure or some type of role model. But I think that as far as like your dating situation goes, I think you have to be realistic. It doesn't sound like, based off of the way your situation is set up, that you can even entertain a relationship that's like you said. Your problem is that they don't want to take you seriously and like they don't want to go outside kind of situation, right? And be seen with you. But it doesn't even sound like you can really entertain a relationship where you can be seen and be outside. Like, you know what I mean? It seems like there's a lot of like open-ended situation with the baby father, with the ex-husband. And it from what it sounds like, I'm not trying to judge, it just sounds like it's a little messy. So I feel as though if first you got to find somebody to guide your son, and then I feel like maybe you need something casual. Maybe right now it might be a little ambitious to be looking for a serious relationship, and maybe something casual is just what you need. Just somebody that you can, you know what I mean, do, you know, and keep your attention on your son, because I feel like sometimes we all feel like we're entitled to this like all-encompassing relationship, but it's like for some of us, keeping it honest, we missed that wave. Like you might have missed that wave. Like you got a whole son to raise now. Like trying to fall in love ain't really gonna be top priority right now. So if you got needs, nothing wrong with that. But just find somebody who's gonna meet those needs. And I feel like don't keep your expectations too high, because with the situation that you have right now, it sounds like they're a little high.
And also too, I'm not really sure.
Being honest.
You got to get some type of confidence too, because you're sitting on here saying that other men don't want to be seen. It's somebody for everybody. You just got to get out there. So, but again, your focus should be your child. But I just don't what you're saying as far as men don't like to be seen with you. Somebody, I can't just think it's that bad.
Yes, it's bad.
Well, I mean, hell, shit.
Well,
you saying that man don't want to be seen with you?
You know, why don't they want to be seen with you?
Yeah, what's going on? Like, what's really going on? Keep it real.
Last crocodile, I guess the alligator. He was an alligator. I started dealing with him like 4 months after I signed on the dotted line. So I finally gave him a chance.
Ma'am,
we're talking about you.
Yeah, we're talking about you. Like, why don't men want to be seen with you?
I don't know. That's why I'm calling. What's wrong with me?
We trying to say, how do you look?
Well, let me ask you, is it your looks?
You know. Do you look
like one of them crocodiles you talking about?
I give myself a 5, maybe a 5.
Average.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So we got to go to Kevin Samuels route.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your height?
Height.
What's your dress size?
Oh God.
And how much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
150. 149, 150.
How tall are you?
I'm 5.
You what?
I'm 5'8".
Got a lot of ass?
5'8", 150.
Hell, sweetie.
That's
Oh, I'm very tall. Well, I'm a skinny, tall.
Skinny and tall.
Woman.
Okay.
All right, so are we talking? All right, so you skinny and tall. Are we talking? You look like Nicolette, or you look like one of the Wayans brothers? The Wayans brothers sisters.
Damn, sweetie.
Whoa.
The Wayans brothers sisters. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a good because it's a whole lot of them. That's how my family is. We're a large family.
We talking about Kim Wayans?
Kim. Okay.
So,
right,
nah, that went over. That went over. She thought you was talking about height. She thought you was talking about height.
Okay. No, all right.
And
so
you said look like the
rate
Wayans brothers.
yourself
You know
1
you
to
was talking about
10.
in the face.
Can't use
She said
7.
she was a 5.
Fresh face out
She
the
said
shower.
5.
She said
5, which is average.
5.
Okay.
Wait,
You
so
said
if you
5.
no, ain't no way you could tell me you average looking and you slim tall, and people don't want to be seen with you.
Well, ma'am, is the reason why because your conversation and the way you keep talking about your ex all the time? Is that what it is, ma'am? Because if that's the case, that's gonna scare a lot of men off.
Okay, well that's why I'm calling y'all.
All right, so
Well, then stop talking about your ex all the goddamn time.
Okay, well I'm fine.
I want to ask you this: do you want to call? You want to call in to come on cam?
Well, I'm in my bed clothes now because I got to work tomorrow.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're okay with that. We just need to see your face.
We just want to see the upper face.
Just this part.
You can.
This area.
Just here.
Because it's hard to gauge. Like,
yeah, we're trying to understand.
You said you're gonna
We're
try.
trying to get you right. We'll get you right.
We're trying to find you an answer here.
Listen, you might find what you're looking for.
And be mad.
Well, I don't know because
Somebody might see you on here and be like, "Yo."
Well, if you email me a picture, I can put it up. You may be able to find a candidate out there. You want to email
He
me?
out here trying to pimp me out.
Hey, B man. Hey, nobody told you to shoot your shot at the last caller.
All right. I want you to put in. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I want you to send a picture to.
Ladies are looking for a male model, man.
Hold on, Clout.
I want you to send a picture to info@lapeef.com.
info@lapeef.com. Okay.
So, ma'am, let me ask you this: is there any local boys clubs or you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they have a. He's very shy. Like I said, we're both navigating as of right now. So as me being a first time, this is my only son, and I had a large. I used to babysit for my when I babysit, but watch my brothers and sisters growing up. So I have a lot of experience as far as helping with raising children. But I only had one. Everybody else had more than one. I was the only one that just had one child. So I guess at 14, he's navigating like, okay, what do we do now? And I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Because I didn't think I would be at this, time in my life. So, it's just a navigation, daily. When we come into situations, we both try to, navigate the best way we can.
Right,
so like I said, like when it comes to... Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we're talking, waiting on the picture to come.
I'm trying to get this one.
Just send one. Just send anyone. Again, anyone.
Hold on.
Okay. All right.
I want to make sure she sends it first.
All right. Info
at Lapeef, LAPEEF.com.
All right. Info.
Be nice, chat.
Lapeef,
LAP as in Paul, E as in elephant, E as in elephant, F as in Frank.com.
Okay. All right, got it. Here they come. Oh, I don't care nothing about people talking. I'm 40 years old. I'm over all of that.
I know, man, but you know what I mean. You kind of brave up here doing this, so cut you a little slack.
I mean,
just a little bit of slack.
Man, do you live in a house or apartment?
You see me date or no?
Ma'am,
Yes. Go ahead.
do you live in a house or an apartment?
Well, I'm renting right now, and I'm trying to get my credit score up. You know,
Okay,
stuff
well,
like that.
yeah,
And
I don't need to know that, ma'am. Is it an
You're
apartment?
renting a house or an
you renting
apartment?
from a house? Because the reason why I'm asking is,
I'm renting right now.
oh, okay,
A house or an apartment?
House.
You're renting a house. Okay.
So with that being said, do you have any neighbors, men neighbors around that maybe your son could maybe model himself after?
Well, see, I got to be careful because the men around here, they have, girlfriends and wives. And I have a guy across the street, but he has multiple women coming in and out, and he's just not going to be a candidate, like that.
We're not talking about relationships. We talking about man stuff.
Maybe a mentorship.
Okay, like I did receive the
Well,
picture.
so,
Hold on.
because he cursed his
Hold on,
mom
I see
out.
the picture.
All right. So here's a picture of Angela. If there anybody, any man want to.
Yeah, that's a recent one. And no, that's not my hair.
She not bad.
She definitely.
Look, I welcome honesty. I love it when
Is that
people
the
are
only
honest.
one?
That means that. Well, no, I got some more. I'm trying to run
Is
through
there
here.
anything like closer or like zoom in to?
All right, let me get this one. Okay, this is a good one.
Is your fault? Man,
Yeah, okay. I seen the picture.
I'm trying to find this boy some type of help, man. I'm not worried about you, man.
What is your son's academic interest? Like, what is he good at in school? What subject is he good at? What is he like? What does he enjoy?
He's really good with computer. How would you say? Computer art, stuff like that. He's into that. He's not like the best, I
Like
guess.
web design and all that.
He likes anime drawing. He does a lot of that.
Okay.
I always
Anime.
catch him doing
All right.
So the chat seemed to be rocking with you.
Yeah, Cloud. Her rating was accurate to a T.
Like the chat seems to be rocking with you. They don't think that you should be hitting her like that. We're not really understanding why you're having a problem in that department. But
I think
as the man stated before, the priority needs to be your son. I mean, anytime you bring a child in, then that becomes a priority. You got to sacrifice, unfortunately. So if you didn't get it together with the son's father, then you got to make sure that the child is taken care of, and that's a priority. So if you can squeeze in some dating time while you're doing a great job parenting, then I think you can find some time as far as dating. But you definitely got to get them around some men, and you don't have to go looking for strangers. If it's somebody within the family.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, they even have programs too. They even have some programs that they have that's probably around in your city that you can look into if need be.
Yeah, what city you say you're located in again?
She said Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a state.
I'm sure they got, like I said, and get him involved in some type of programs, maybe some after school programs, like I said, Boys and Girls Club, or some type of program to he could be around other young men and men, period. Because right now he needs to be a priority, ma'am. I'm just gonna be honest. I know you looking for love, and that's all fine and good. But let's look for a mentor for your son, because that's the most important thing.
If there's anybody out there in the Virginia area that knows some mentor programs for young men, put in the chat right now so we can try to get that information. So I don't know anything about it, but maybe somebody's watching in Virginia.
Boys and Girls Club.
No, I'm not really sure. I don't know anything about the Boys and Girls Club, but I'm going to give you some options. So put it in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, then email it to info@Lapeef, and then I'll forward the email to her, But let's just try to see if we can get that young man some
What part of VA is it? Is it like the beach, near the beach, or Portsmouth?
No,
any of that, Norfolk?
Little city.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to give city.
Yeah,
We just got a casino. I'll do that much. We just got a major casino here.
Okay.
Uh-oh, we got a gambler.
Cool.
No, I'm just saying. I used to film out in VA. I know some people out.
I'll just play it with you.
Yeah.
Well, no, I will.
Anyway, I appreciate Mr. Hink's advice because sometimes you said tough love also too. I appreciate. I love when men get aggressive like that, but it's all love.
Oh,
I honestly
There
wasn't
Okay,
looking
Hank.
for. No, I'm just saying I wasn't looking for a man. That's why
She can't be on for me, man.
No, Hank, that's all you, bro.
That's
Yeah, flew out to
I don't think my
Kentucky or
future
whatever.
wife gonna go for that, so I'm good.
Nah, but
We appreciate you.
And go make that garbage man a plate, man. Make that garbage man a plate.
okay. I'll work on.
yeah.
I appreciate all the advice.
Yeah,
Seriously.
no doubt.
I'll try that.
Angela, thank you for calling in and thank you for supporting.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if somebody email me something, I'll make sure that I'll be able to forward to you. I have HR contact you. And then we'll kind of go from there. So if you guys again know anybody, any male, young men, positive programs or mentorship in the VA area, just make sure y'all send it.
DMV, all that.
Let me ma'am, is he on YouTube? Is your son on YouTube? Does your son look at YouTube?
No. I mean, look, he's on you videos, looking at videos, but he's not like actually on it.
Okay, but does he watch it? Tell him to follow my channel. Tell him to follow my channel. I'll see what I can do for him.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. She's off the line. All right, y'all. Hey, gentlemen, stay back here for a second when I end the show. Appreciate you guys tuning in to King Talk. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all support everybody on the platform and everybody that's dropped off. Let's make sure we support each other. Sweeney, Hank in the Basement, B Mad, Trey Smooth, Clout. We had Austin on there. And we also had Luis. Hit them on their IGs. Go back and play if you don't see them on there now. It's been a great show. Appreciate y'all tuning in and supporting. Catch us next time. And we out. Y'all stay on there.